Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and we are having a live chat tonight with Scribe and Some Dumb American. Say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Hi, guys.
Before we get started, I just want to congratulate these guys. Some Dumb American just hit 5,000 subscribers the other day, and Scribe just hit 500 today, and that is awesome for both of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
very
well deserved.
I'm excited. I think we're gonna try to play some games this weekend at some point. So
Oh,
Yeah.
for like a celebration?
yeah.
Sweet.
I've got you and a couple of other people in a group chat, and so later this week I'll start bothering you guys about it.
We really didn't have a topic when we decided on doing a stream tonight, so we kind of hastily threw things together. We're going to cover a little bit of new stuff before we get into everything except movies.
Yes. Apparently there has been an edict that we're not allowed to talk about movies.
I think we're great when we talk about movies, but apparently that's just you and me who think so.
Well, we need to set up a very specific stream just for that subject so we don't upset all these very thin-skinned individuals in the chat right now.
And they're going to show up for that too. They know it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about Donald Trump just for a moment. Well, actually, I think all of our subjects are Donald Trump related.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's the president or something.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. He's an important individual, which actually is kind of weird because I grew up with hearing jokes about, a President Donald Trump one day.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
It's kind of like the 90s generation who got to get all the Bill Gates going to be president one day. And I'm wondering if that'll happen next.
I'm pretty sure we could probably see a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson president before.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That would be awesome
because
everything would be made out of sunshine.
That would be idiocracy, pretty much in a nutshell, right there.
All right, biggest news on Donald is, of course, the wiretapping, which, if you haven't been following the story, what it basically breaks down to is that some right-wing sources looked at old newspaper clippings talking about how the NSA and, well, actually the FBI, but the NSA was involved, the CIA, a few other agencies in government had been wiretapping the Russians basically, and may have been listening in on some of Trump's people. Donald Trump got a hold of this information, according to sources, sometime Sunday, which is when he tweeted out that the Obama administration had been wiretapping him during the election, which is a very, very serious charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Watergate. He has asked is it Senate or House looking into it? I forget. He's asked the congressional folks looking into the
allegations. It's the House right now.
Okay. Looking into allegations of Russian.
Rand Paul's a senator, right?
Rand Paul is a...
Yeah, Senator Rand Paul, yeah.
Okay, then it's the House, because I think Rand Paul was upset that he couldn't do things. I remember seeing that this morning.
Yeah, so it's that he asked them, the ones looking into the allegations of Russian influence in our election, to look into Obama's spying on him. So
right.
At the moment it's kind of silly. Yeah, somebody said wiretapping requires a federal warrant. They did go through the FISA court.
Mm-hmm.
But
the fact that this came out via Twitter is what's killing me. It's weird.
Well, I mean,
his PR stuff is bizarre because, realistically, he's not doing bad things policy-wise, and he's doing okay stuff, but it's just every time somebody's talking about him, it's what are you doing? Stop that.
He's got to make himself the center all the time. As long as he's connected, nobody can say that he's not doing his job. How does he keep in contact with people? It's Twitter. FDR did fireside chats. It was kind of like the way that the president kept the nation abreast of what was going on and sort of connected with them on sort of a personal level kind of thing. It was, at the time, relatively revolutionary to do that because most presidents, they're just often distant leaders that you never saw except quoted in the newspaper or something.
Right.
Trump doesn't know how not to exist in the public eye. And now that he's president, he is the center of the public eye, and he's still operating like he has to make waves just by saying something, even though his simple existence in the office is enough to get attention.
Yes. Yeah, I am thinking hashtag fireside tweets.
Uh-oh. So somebody's going to then accuse him of like that being like a cross burning thing or something.
Another thing that's interesting, though, if you want to look at what he's actually doing, he's drastically decreasing the power of the executive branch. So, his Supreme Court nomination. This is a man who is just adamantly against expanding executive power. He's lifted the tranny bathroom guidelines and all that kind of stuff, and he's lifted several other executive orders that Obama put into place. So he's even less of a dictator than Obama was.
Yeah, reducing the executive since Bush Jr. and Cheney and Obama didn't do anything to roll that stuff back. I had said about a month or two ago, I said if someone wanted to have a plank in their platform for 2020, it would be to pledge to reduce the power of the executive. But Trump is already doing that, and I can't disagree with it. I can't disagree with the idea that between Bush and now, the breadth of the executive's power to be able to just sort of, executive orders themselves. Trump is using them because he's been handed those keys of power, but the fact that they're basically just sort of like presidential edicts of law practically is has always been very worrying to me.
But even when you look at the way that he's handling his executive orders, so for example, the travel ban, instead of just like throwing it through the Supreme Court, they literally went back and rewrote it and fixed all the issues.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that he reissued that, because that's funny as hell just to watch. Steve Shives already has a video up about it.
Well, it's interesting though, because if he was really a power hungry maniac who doesn't have any kind of respect for the way that things are supposed to work, he would have just shoved it through the Supreme Court because he could, and this would have been over 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but this is a concession. It's not, they don't call it that, but the fact that it's like, oops, we kind of screwed up, here's a revision. It's not politic as usual, but it also shows like I say, a little bit of humility in a weird way.
Yeah, because he's like, okay, fine, we'll fix the fuck up and put it back. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. It's nice to see the system working how it's supposed to.
Well, supposed to.
Well, I think a lot of liberals were rightly concerned that Donald Trump would just go in and start doing exactly what Obama did, just writing out executive orders for whatever the hell he wanted. And Trump is doing a good thing by scaling that shit back, and that's going to fuck him up even more, because then next time they can't do it.
Right. That was always that was why Obama didn't roll it back, because when he was handed that much power, he's like, oh, well, now I can get things done and I don't have to go through all the same rigmarole. The rigmarole being supposedly our political and judicial process for a lot of things. And they got so freaked out when they handled, like when Trump won, everybody's like, oh yeah, like I said, they're freaking out. Oh my God, he's going to do all this stuff. Like
they're like, he's going to do what our guy's going to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's going to have the same amount. He's going to have the same amount of power that Hillary would have had. Oh no! And he's actually doing what he said he'd do on the campaign. Agree with it or not, he's fulfilling his promises, and at the same time, also sort of proving to other people who just apparently didn't think about this when Obama was president that the president has way too much power. So maybe we should roll that back so we don't have, because if you think it's like, well, if Clinton was in office, we wouldn't be worried. Why not? It's the same problem.
As if she'd roll back any of the power.
No,
it'd be worse.
It would be worse. She would have expanded it.
For the record, I don't care what president is in there, Republican or Democrat, they do not need that much power. They should not have that much power.
Exactly.
Well, then there's no point in having the other three branches of government.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the checks and balances were removed, or at least severely hamstrung after Bush took over. And like I say, Obama didn't do. When Obama came into office, one of the first things he said, there was a question that was asked of him. It was very early on in his presidency, and they were asking, "Are you going to start any investigations into possible war crimes as committed by the previous administration?" And his answer was very sort of boilerplate. Politics. It was, oh, we have to look to the future, not to the past. I'm not exactly quoting there, but I'm paraphrasing. And I'm looking at this guy, I'm thinking to myself, you are a professor of constitutional law. If you don't understand the nature of precedent and how that can be used in the future to justify other things, what are you doing there?
That's why Supreme Court cases are so powerful.
Mhm.
That's why they matter so much.
Right.
Speaking of which, and this is just because it's like at the top of my recommendations right now when I'm looking at the chat. The Amazing Atheist about the marijuana thing.
Oh, we talked about that the other day, I think.
Did we? I don't know.
I did a video on it the other day.
That's what it was. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting because I guess maybe it's just because like I'm taking government right now, so just off the top of my head, but it's interesting that people don't realize that federal law supersedes state law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's confusing people on this a lot is the medical marijuana versus recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
Both are still technically illegal under federal law. However, medical marijuana got an exemption through Congress, and the exemption is the Justice Department is not allowed to spend any money prosecuting cases or going after people for medical marijuana use. It's an end run around it. They didn't actually change the law, but Congress does have the ability to control the purse. That's what they talked about a lot in the 2014 election.
Yeah.
Was stopping Obama by controlling the purse. And it's exactly what they did here. So medical marijuana is still technically illegal, but it cannot be enforced by federal law. Recreational marijuana does not have that exemption. So when Trump did this, and actually it wasn't Trump, it was Spicer talking about the DOJ, when he said that they would be looking into what they're going to do with that, what he was saying is we're actually going to follow the law. And if we don't like the law, we need to change the law. We can't have an executive branch that just fucking ignores the law.
Right.
That's how we had the immigration problem.
Because like Scribe was saying, precedent.
Yes, exactly.
And it goes for everything. I just think, I mean, honestly, what was amusing to me, and maybe this is because I'm against recreational drug use.
You heathen.
I know. Well, and also my best friend just died of a drug overdose recently. So like I'm a little bit biased, but I just thought it was hilarious that TJ is just like freaking out.
Gonna go right in the street with Molotov cocktails over fucking pot.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was funny because
when I heard him say that, I was like, dude, you need to hit a joint. You need to relax.
I know, because he's like, God, I don't know. It just
imagine a bunch of potheads trying to violently protest.
That would be awesome.
It's like, man, I'm hungry.
Because he's just like, I have to have my pot. It's like, all right, chill. God, it's okay.
See, I take a lighter stance on it. I think recreational should be legal. The only issue I have with it is that there's not a good way to test for it. So like,
yeah, for like
drunk driving and stuff, you can't really do that with marijuana. I do remember an argument I had with a pothead once who told me nobody can ever tell when he's high. And he actually said this: I have been stopped 8 times driving and the police didn't know I was high. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe they couldn't prove it.
That's not something to brag about.
Right.
Like, right.
Obviously, you shouldn't have been fucking driving.
Exactly.
But, sorry. I'm getting an echo somewhere. Is that me?
It might be me.
Okay.
I don't think it's me.
Anyhow,
was it gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there we go.
Cool.
So Scribe, you want to talk about what you wanted to bring up?
Sure. Since we're talking about precedent and laws and all that, I'll just read from the CNN story for context because I'm not 100% up to speed. Yeah. Speaking of recreational drug use, I'm just doing a little bit of angel dust right now.
Real quick, I took my nerve medicine about an hour ago, and my lip, I can't feel it anymore.
That sounds exciting.
It is. It's one of those side effects of drugs that when it first hits you, you think, oh my God, I'm having a stroke. And then you remember you took a drug that can do that.
Oh, it's like that scene in Blow where Pee Wee Herman like snorts the pure cocaine and he goes like, I can't feel my face. Oh wait, I'm talking about a movie. Shit. I apologize. I apologize,
Way to
Chad.
go.
I referenced the movie. Let's move on.
Hey, I called it 15 minutes.
It's true. I'm a horrible person. Okay. So I'll put this, well, I won't, just go on to CNN. It's like one of the top stories if you want to follow along. Supreme Court sends transgender case back to lower court. Now, I'm curious if this is like the case that started this whole conversation or not.
It is, yes.
Is it the
Okay.
one with the what's his name, Gavin something?
Yes.
Yes, it
okay.
is. Mhm.
All right. So the Supreme Court on Monday sent a case involving a transgender high school student back to a lower court, a temporary setback for the student. Monday's announcement vacates a lower court's decision in the case of Gavin Grimm, a Virginia student who is seeking to use school bathrooms that align with his gender identity. Monday's decision means the case will go back to a court of appeals and likely removes the possibility that the Supreme Court will hear it in this term. The decision comes in the wake of a change in policy by the Trump administration, which last month revoked Obama-era guidance on protections for transgender students in public bathrooms.
Okay. When I made a video about it and I talked about this case, and I'm just going to say here what I said then. This is fucking stupid. Like, this kid looks like a dude, right? I mean, I'm not saying, like, let him shower with dudes, but, like, and also it's 17. So I think at the most it has 2 more months to go in high school, or a year. Why is this in court?
Well,
Why
it's,
can't
Here's
we-
the problem.
it's not the
Here's-
age of the person; it's the argument again of the
Yeah,
fictional
I
law.
know, but like, why is this a problem? Why
Monkey
can't
nose.
because
why can't you
because
just look at
school-
something and go, yeah, no, or
And
okay?
I understand what you're saying. I do. And I don't necessarily disagree. But the reason this is done is because schools also have the responsibility to protect their students. And if they start just letting anybody who claims they're a boy into the girls' room, that opens them up to liabilities that they don't want.
Yeah, I'm saying like I'm kind of saying the exact opposite. Like, not just let him do whatever he wants, but if this person is obviously trans and is actually transitioning, then you
But-
make that call. I think.
And again, it opens them up to liability when they have to make that call.
That's
Mhm.
true.
So I don't disagree with you. Looking at the kid, I think, yeah, let him use the fucking boys' room. But I also understand the responsibility that the schools have and why they would want to limit that as much as possible.
Right. I mean, especially, isn't it? I think it's in like a small city too in Virginia, right? So
I
that
don't
kind
remember
of-
where it's
Yeah.
at. The other part of it, oh, shit, I just had a thought. Oh, the other part of it is how she tried to do it, and she tried to do it using Title IX.
Right.
Well, that's
Which
dumb.
exactly, that's
Yeah.
a bunch of shit.
That's stupid.
That is not what Title IX was meant for, and it's been
No.
so
Fucking
abused.
retarded.
No, I love talking about Title IX. I did a whole thing on Title IX a while.
Title
back.
IX is such a mess.
Well, it has it has an appropriate function, but it's being used for things it was not meant to do.
Well,
It's funky to
Title
say.
IX, just from some athletes that I know, is a big problem in college because you have to have equal funding for
Yes.
male and female sports.
Yes.
So, and college football, obviously. So the girls' sports are doing great because the same amount of money that gets dumped into college football gets dumped into women's sports in college. But then, like, all that,
Nobody's watching.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they just cut all of the other male sports because they have to balance it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
think it's the same number of sports, but it's the amount of money that matters.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. No, I'm not a complete expert on Title IX, but I mean, the general understanding I have is that if you take federal money as a educational institution or something, then thou shalt not exclude anyone from school activities or events or anything else based on their gender. Period. That's the basic, tenet of Title IX. How that equates to then you can't
Well-
spend the same amount. You can't spend a different amount of money on different events for different genders. I don't know about that one, but then again, I'm not an expert, so it's curious to me.
The idea is actually that there's equal access to all, that as SDA
equal
was saying.
access. Okay, you could.
So if they don't have as much funding, then they don't have as much
Okay.
access.
Yes.
So a lot of people think that means like if you have, football, then you have to have a female equivalent. If you have a male,
Right.
and that's not what ends up happening. They end up like slashing the lesser male sports so that they can just dump more money into it because they have to split it's a mess.
Sure. Okay.
And what you were saying was the original intent and what it's supposed to be for and what they always bring up.
Yes.
But as Better
But
Red
then
said,
for him to be like, I want to
about
pee here because Title IX, like that's weird.
Well, the thing I actually got. Well, I was kind of an activist on this early in my YouTube career. There was a event going on at a school district in Washington State where it was called the Boom Experience, breaking out of the margins, boom, and it was advertised on the school's website as an event for Black, Latino, and Native American male students, and it was sponsored by the public school district and hosted at a community college, both of which took federal money. And that's what it was for. And I emailed the school district. I emailed a local news station. I emailed the school district. I also tweeted them and I said, how is this event exempt from Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which would tend to say that this is not legal? I never got an answer back, but shortly before the event that year, they added an addendum to the ad on their website saying, even though this event is structured for male students of Black, Latino, and Native American descent, all students are welcome. I was like, great, nice Band-Aid.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first videos of yours I saw.
Yeah, and ever since that one, it was one of those things where it's like, guys, if you're doing this and getting away with it, then there's nothing to stop your worst fear from happening, and that is we're going to hold an all-white school event. And
there would be rioting in the streets.
Exactly. And it's the principle of the thing. Again, we come back to the idea of precedent. As soon as you establish the idea that you can hold events using public money that exclude people based on their gender and or their race, then you can't tell the next guy he's wrong for doing it. That's why we have these laws. And it just drives me nuts when I see people trying to take something that was meant to push towards equality under the law and then using it as a cudgel to try to divide. It drives me absolutely nuts.
Well, anytime something like this is passed, there's always, the counter argument is always, oh, you're just talking about a slippery slope. That'll never happen. And then it fucking happens.
Slippery meets slope. Right? Because I don't want to say that like the crazy conservative Christians were right. But when they were like, when we let the gays do things, then what? People are going to be making up genders. And we're all like,
I was one of those people saying the arguments for gay marriage were very bad, not because I didn't think gays should have the same rights, but because of what they were saying, the way they were placing or saying it.
Example.
The idea that just two people in love should be able to get married as long as they're consenting adults includes incest by default. It also includes polygamy, because just because these two people are in love doesn't mean one of them can't be in love with somebody else. All of these things were opened up with that dumbass argument instead of just saying gay people should be allowed to be married. Leave it at that.
You know what it reminds me of? Let me find it real quick. Have you heard of the Equal Rights Amendment?
Oh, dear fucking God, yes.
Okay, so for those... Hold on a second.
You want to talk about a slippery fucking slope?
Well, hold on. Let me bring up the text real quick, because I did a video on this not too long ago. Okay,
SDA, tell your mom to listen to this one, because I might get fucking ranty.
Okay, so for those of you not in the know, the Equal Rights Amendment was a proposed amendment of the United States Constitution designed to guarantee equal rights for women. Now, this was originally introduced in 1923, and it had been bandied about over the course of many, many, many years through the 1980s until it effectively died because it couldn't get any more state support. But here's the meat of the amendment. There's only 3 sentences to the amendment, and only the first one really spells out the new law. And it reads, "Equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex." Now, you would think, first and foremost, that sounds equal. That sounds like everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except that many, many women oppose the Equal Rights Amendment because with that simple language and law, that would also eliminate a whole raft of protections from things that men had to do that at the time women didn't, like the draft and like any number of other things that by saying that, because it's a count of sex, it doesn't say women, it says everybody. You can't
Mm-hmm.
discriminate at all. So that means, if someone is sentenced differently, or if there's considerations given because you're the mother or anything like that, those all go away because the Constitution says, So there can be dangers in trying to make everything quote unquote completely equal, depending on how you come out on the other side of the equation.
Well, you can't make everything completely equal. Men and women are
Right.
fucking different.
Right.
It's so hard to. From the time we first notice other people, we can see that
Sorry.
there are fucking differences in people. That guy, the Polish guy who got in trouble the other day in Parliament, he may have went too far, but two of the things he said, or one of the things that he said that really stuck in my mind is that women are weaker. Yes, you might run into one really strong bitch, but by and large,
I'm
most
upset.
women are fucking weaker than men.
Yeah, on average.
On average, yeah.
You can have a woman that is stronger than a man, but it is just not usual. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's just the matter of sexual.
Well, no, what's
dimorphism.
actually really interesting about that it actually has a lot to do with just the anatomy. So if you were to take a woman who works out a lot and is muscular and all that kind of stuff, and you were to take a really skinny guy and you were to compare their grip strengths, the guy would win.
Well, that's why I always hear like when
Well, that's
like,
because we start masturbating at 13 and never
well, there's
stop.
that too. But I always hear like, oh yeah, Ronda Rousey should like fight Floyd Mayweather, and I'm like, Floyd Mayweather would kill Ronda Rousey.
Kill her, absolutely.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
break her fucking head open. You do not want her to fight him and have a good time about it. And it's always like hear like, gosh, boy, wouldn't it be better if we had like equal sports and everything else? And I say, hey, you know what? If you want to have girls on the rugby team with the boys, okay, one of two things has got to happen. Either you've got to accept that you're going to play against the boys at the same level that boys play against each other, or you're going to have to bring down the standards and the rules in order to accommodate the differences between men and women. Because I bet you dollars to donuts, if you actually had a rugby player go as full force on a female player as he would on a male player, that female would be busted in half in about 3 seconds. And
yeah, she'd be like me.
Yeah, exactly.
She'd spend the rest of her life in pain.
But here's the thing, too. They don't. I heard somebody make this argument like a British thing, and I was kind of like, but here's the other thing. If a male rugby player was coming at a female rugby player, do you think, barring him being some kind of psychopath, that he would actually treat the female player the same as a male player by instinct, by just instinct and just common societal norms? Hell no. So, yeah, we all know that there are differences between one and the other. We acknowledge these things. We've known them since we were children. It's not a bad thing to say women are physically weaker. Oh, yeah, no, it's an insult. It's an insult to say that. It's like, oh, you're weaker. Oh, you mean I'm weaker of spirit or something? No, it's like I can punch you and you will fall down. You can punch me and I won't. That's pretty much the long and the short of it.
Okay, can I just say something?
No.
Monkey,
you're a woman, no.
Shut up. I think Monkey and I were having almost this exact conversation because we were loosely in very abstract terms talking about domestic violence.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we were talking about how, and like I said, we weren't saying we should change the laws or anything like that, and it's bad to hit people, okay? But we were saying that, like, if a woman just obviously not using weapons because weapons fixes the strength problem, but like if a woman were to get mad at like her whatever and like punch him or push him or something like that, that wouldn't be anywhere near the kind of damage the damage that would be done to the man wouldn't be anything like what would happen to the woman if he were to do that to her.
Yeah, you know what I find hilarious? There are videos right now, you can find them on YouTube and Live Leak and stuff, where it's like, man slaps back or something like that. And I remember one just a few days ago, there was like on a subway or a bus or something, some woman slapped a guy across the face. And he slapped her back with about the same speed of motion of his arm and everything else.
And look, did she just like face plant?
Oh yeah, she completely got knocked over. She smacked him. His head goes to the side a little bit, and he just goes like "fuck you," smack, and knocks her down. And it's just like, okay, you see,
Now,
you can't take it, and he would be arrested. I bet you dollars to donuts if there'd been a cop there, he would have been arrested.
Totally justified. Like if you hit somebody, you know,
it was unprovoked. They were like having words or something, and she like got irritated or whatever, and so she started to smack him across the face, and he responded in kind. And it's like, okay, don't dish it if you can't take it. What do you want? And so,
yeah. But we were talking about that, and somebody got very upset.
Yeah, somebody in the chat was saying we were advocating abuse against men. It's like, no, we are trying to have a philosophical discussion here.
But like, if I push a man, it's probably not going to be the same.
I'm only advocating for abuse against men if he's paying to have it done. That's all.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah, and vice versa.
How did we get on this topic? How did we get from trans bathrooms to men beating women?
Well,
because
Title
we were talking about Title IX, and we were talking about how women are
equality.
Yeah, try to remember a little longer than 3 minutes, Monkey. Come on,
dude. Medicine. I have
I
the
know.
fallback.
I know. You're high. It's okay. Just don't drive.
Actually, I'm not anymore. I don't take the medicine that makes me high. Just the nerve blockers and Motrin. So I'm clear-headed. So this is that's not true. The nerve blockers can fuck up your memory. Okay. So we're going with those.
Clearly.
But I'm not high.
We will be your external hard drives for the sake of this conversation.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about trans bathrooms real quick.
About boobs?
Sorry, okay, so here's a question I have, and maybe this, and of course this is going to be so super insensitive and such. There's no gender called transgender. If
transgender won't even come up in your goddamn spell check.
Okay, hold on.
Just saying.
I know. So
it's transsexual.
So if you are transgender is a state of limbo in between the one to the other. So once you've become the other, why would you refer to yourself? Now, I understand there are activists and people who don't mind talking about it, like Blair White and stuff. I'm not making a judgment call on people like that. But if you're going to make an issue about your gender as relates to the world around you, then why not just say, I am a boy, like in our Supreme Court case?
Because just go to the bathroom. You need more oppression points.
I know. I understand this, but I understand that's how some people think. But this is the deal: is that the majority? Or do most people, and I'm pretty sure that if you went to all the effort, if you felt your entire life that you did not fit in your body, and you went to the effort and the expense and the struggle to become as close to what you think you should be as you can be, wouldn't you just proceed as that and not want to talk about having been at some point in a transitionary period? Because you're not going to be there your entire life. You're supposedly achieved it at some point, and so just go to the bathroom. Go there. That's what stalls are for. Nobody's going to know.
This is one of the things that pisses me off so much about this conversation. I'll let you talk in a minute. One second. Because I got this thought out because it's pissing me off. Anytime you see this, you will hear people say, conservatives just decided to have this fight. There was no reason to do it. Conservatives didn't. This Gavin fucker started all this shit.
Right.
And from there, it became this huge thing about, trans people can't use the bath. Trans people have been using the fucking bathroom of their choice forever. Go look. There are not cases out there, tons of cases out there, people who have been arrested for using the wrong goddamn bathroom. This is not something that conservatives just decided to pull out of their ass. Liberals started this fight. And conservatives have fought back largely based on the school issue because schools have a responsibility to children. In the general world, nobody gives a fuck. You're not even going to notice unless you're like checking under their skirt for a dick.
Or if you just look like a man in a dress. Like if you can't pass, sorry, hold it.
Well, I've worked at places where this poor woman, she would come in to the store I worked at and she looked like a dude. And I actually called her sir once, and she lost her fucking mind.
Oh, God.
So you have people just naturally there are manly women out there. Let's be honest. I mean, there's Leslie Jones, Michelle Obama. There are manly women out there.
It's true. It is true. And you have to admit, she looks kind of mannish.
If I didn't know who Michelle Obama was and I saw her go into the women's room, I would think, that's a tranny. I honestly would. She has big old wide shoulders and she has prominent cheeks and manly features. I don't know how Barack got it up for that, but God bless him.
I got to take an aside real quick. Our favorite slash fic writer of you and me is in the chat. Is N here? The indomitable N.
Also-
is doing /fic as we speak. Just thought I'd mention, not something we have to talk about.
Cat Black is a tranny.
Yes.
Oh,
And-
she is? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't keep track of all these things.
Fell over the first time I heard that because she was like, "I'm a black trans woman," and I was like, "You don't even have the voice. You don't have the fucked up, weird, grating, annoying voice where you still sound like a gay guy after you transition."
Right.
So who would know? Is it and isn't that the goal where they can just like
Yeah.
walk down the street
So
and nobody
she's
knows?
like complaining about oppression, and I'm like, "You idiot! Nobody on the street is gonna know that you were tranny.
Right. Exactly.
Who would know that? Like maybe you could guess it with Blair because she I like her, but she's got the voice."
Do you think she's upset, Cat Black, that she doesn't present as
A tranny?
slightly not female, and that's why she has to like broadcast it so much? It's like, please understand that I'm a minority of a minority.
She needs to grow out her mustache
Oh God.
so people know.
Oh, body hair.
Oh yeah, the transgender bathroom thing just pisses me off so much because
The bathroom thing pisses you off.
Nice. Well,
All
there
right.
was a great accidental joke in the collaboration me and SDA did.
Oh, yeah.
She said that my junk would be down below, and I just wanted to point. I just had to laugh at it, and I forgot to mention it earlier.
Yeah, monkey's junk. The monkey junk's down below. Oh boy.
Okay.
So what shall we talk about next? Since we've now expelled our planned topics for the most part.
Well, did you want to get more into what you were talking about, SDA, with the reduction of?
I think I pretty much said all I wanted to.
Okay.
Because
I'm curious. Speaking of the executive power, I'm curious because I don't follow these things. I'm sure it's reported somewhere. Is Trump, at least at present, is he on par with the amount of drone strikes that Obama was at this stage of the game? Because that was something that obviously Bush started employing because the technology existed during the Iraq War and etc. Obama didn't cease that practice in any way, shape, or form. Once
he ramped it up. He was bombing people left and right.
Of all the sort of extrajudicial actions that the executive has taken, I'm wondering, maybe somebody in the chat knows because I don't.
I don't know.
Is Trump employing that, and if he is, to any greater or lesser degree than Obama? Because of there are lots of things that Obama did or didn't do bugged me, but I'll tell you what, the one thing that always bugged me no matter what was the idea of outside of an act of war, as a nation, taking the lives of people outside the judicial process, just deciding that these people are terrorists and blowing them up, and we have to trust the government that they knew who they were shooting at the time. That, I mean, if you want to talk about something that always bugged me about the extent of the executive in that situation, and I understand the executive does have a lot of breadth of power when it comes to, in an emergency, dealing with a military conflict and stuff like that. And I can see the arguments. I've heard many arguments about how that is necessary, a necessary evil, etc. And in some cases, I can agree with that. But when it comes to decisions of just, individual effective assassinations of people, and even if you say that they're the terrorists, that they're the number 2 man in Al Qaeda, I hear that every fucking week. We took out the number 2 man in Al Qaeda. How many number 2 men are there? All right, that's right, endless numbers.
There's a new one each time you kill the last one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Hydra, cut off one head, 2 more grow back. Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway,
and finally you got the guy who's just sweeping up, and he's technically number 2.
Yeah, the janitor finally gets it. No, I just anyway, like I said, I don't know if there's an answer to that question. I'm just curious that of all the things, that's the one that bugged me the most during Obama's tenure.
No.
Oh, before I forget, something that was really interesting. I think, this kind of blew me away that he actually said this out loud, but my government professor last week said, if Trump didn't do anything else, technically, he's the most successful president in history.
Well,
because of,
economically, yes.
Just because of how much he got done, based on campaign promises.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, sure, but that metric,
nothing else for the next 8 years and still be the most successful president in U.S. history.
Well, that brings up an interesting question. If he's already accomplished so much, if he's done so many of his campaign promises, where does he go from there? Just to Twitter?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, wouldn't that actually be kind of nice, though? If, everything's just good and, now we can fight about pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I'm
Well,
neutral,
every
by
time
the
somebody,
way, so don't kill me. I've never tried it.
it's great on a ham pizza. Oh, I love me a Hawaiian. Anyway, before we piss off the chat with pizza, every
I'm
time
neutral,
somebody
don't
brings
kill
up,
me.
every time somebody brings up the do nothing Congress and how we have to have our parties working together to get things done, I'm like, no, this is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to go slow.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be doing a whole bunch of shit. That's why they used to adjourn for long periods of time. Sure, part of it was for travel, but part of it was so they're not just sitting there with their thumb up their ass going, what can we do next?
right. They'd have to actually go back home and deal with their constituents and figure out what to take back to DC to then deal with.
Yeah, what do we actually need to work on instead of just trying to do shit to justify our existence?
Right. And as far as Trump is concerned, I mean, yeah, I mean, if he spends the first 100 days or whatever covering all the stuff that he promised to do and then effectively just manages from then on, and if the economy keeps pumping up as it has been for the last 60 days, and that's it, yeah, what would we have to complain about? I mean,
if the economy keeps going like it is, he could kill a baby on TV and get reelected.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't mean it like that. No. But yeah, no, seriously. I mean, what did Clinton?
It'd have to be a white baby, though.
Well, yes, but I mean, what was the best cover for Clinton the entire time that he was president? The economy was
stupid.
Booming, and that wasn't his. It wasn't his fault that it was happening. But at least in this situation, Trump might almost be able to claim a portion of legitimate credit because of what he's like. Because he, even before he became president in the in transition phase, he was already setting the tone of like, this is how I'm going to operate when I become president, you corporation. So I'm going to bring you into my office. I'm going to look you in the eye and I'm going to say, do you want to still have your tax incentives? You're going to keep jobs here. You're going to buy American steel. Now, will that work out in the long run? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it sure set a tone real quick.
Well, I don't know if you remember this because I don't know how much you paid attention during the Clinton, the first Clinton election. One of the things he talked about was bringing business people in and running the government more like a business.
Right.
No, that's a right-wing conspiracy. Your face.
Yeah.
The government's not a business.
Yeah, well, my only, well,
it's not, but it can be run more like one. I mean,
I agree. I'm just saying.
No,
as long as your goal is not a profit motive. I mean, if you're going
exactly.
if you're going to run and structure it like a well-operating corporation or something, that isn't necessarily a bad idea. However, you have to keep in mind that it is not a corporation, that it is not a matter of earning the most bang for the buck for the stockholders, even though, yes, you have to keep in mind the taxpayer. At the end of the day, your job is to govern and to see to the security of the United States. If that does end up costing money and you do end up going into debt, that's the price of doing business, quite literally.
But see, we have a problem with going into debt just to go into debt. If you look at, liberals love to point out that the last time we balanced the budget, which by the way still was not balanced under Bill Clinton. But if you look at Obama's first budget compared to Clinton's last budget, it fucking doubles.
Mm-hmm.
In 8 years, the shit has, in 16 years, it was heading to like 2.5 times the budget.
Mm-hmm.
We have not had that much need in that time. There was no need for it to increase so drastically. And if you look at things like discretionary spending, especially on social services, it has boomed. By the liberal argument that throwing money at problems makes them better, we should have like no poor people. Nobody should ever go to the doctor and have to actually pay for it.
Should be fabulous.
They should. We should be turning out little Asian kids all over.
Whoa, you want to turn out Asian
kids? Them Asian, it's all good.
Wait, you want to turn out Asian kids? What the fuck are you, a pimp? Jesus.
Okay, wrong phrasing. You're an asshole.
I know. I'm a pro semantic.
Well, Asians are a fascination to me in America because they are a huge minority, and they do better than white people by far.
Yes, if I remember.
Well,
correctly,
that's why all the social justice warriors hate them.
Well, they include them with white people now. There's not even a check mark for them anymore.
No, it's true because they're model minorities. And in my last sociology class, it was like, well, we don't talk about them because they've assimilated to whiteness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're too
That's a
white.
direct
They're so
quote.
white, they do it better than white
If
people.
I remember correctly, they make up like 8% of the population, but something like over 60% of them have college degrees. When you look at the national average, which is like 42%, they exceed in education. In median income, they're over the average by about $11,000 or something. The effect like $60,000 or something.
Mhm.
And
You know why?
a third of them, a third of all Asians, like those classified as Asian Americans or whatever, live in the state of California. Like a third of all
Mhm.
of them are in California. Yeah.
And the girl in the stream, the woman in the stream, is some dumb American.
Oh, nobody knew that?
What happened?
Somebody in chat asked who you were.
Oh,
Oh,
how could you not know who I am?
They're used to me in Scribe now.
yeah.
Dick.
We're also not talking about movies.
For the record, it's the guy who writes gay porn about me in Scribe. So
Okay.
Oh, N, yes.
yeah,
N is the magical N. I know, as much as I don't actually read every word of it, I will give credit for the amount of effort, thought, and typing that this person goes into on these chats to
yes,
I mean, it's impressive, to say the least.
it's. I am inspired by the
It's
dedication.
really something.
Yeah, it's outstanding and fascinating, also interesting. These are the most diplomatic words I can think of right now.
The reason Asians do so well is because their parents expect a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a really interesting concept in education, and I ran into it with my own daughter. When my daughter was in, I can't remember if it's second or third grade, my wife went to a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was very upset because my daughter, if she got a B on something, it just devastated her. Anything below an A just crippled her. She could not deal with it.
I was like that.
And they wanted to talk to her and tell her how okay it was. Like, you leave that fucking child alone. She has standards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to teach her to deal with it a little better, but I'm not going to tell her a B is okay when she wants to get an A.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we didn't do that. And my daughter graduated third in her class and went on into a STEM field where she's working in now. So, yes, sometimes pressure works.
Pressure turns
Yeah, I
coal
work
into
really
diamonds.
well under pressure. But like honestly, at the end of high school, I got so bad that my parents did finally have to like step in and be like, okay, you need to chill the fuck out.
Mhm.
Relax, damn it.
Yeah, like I was that stressed out about it. But yeah,
Meanwhile, my son
I think it's silly.
barely graduated.
Where did you go wrong?
Well, you know what actually turned him around? He spent the majority of his high school years just fucking off horribly. And what
Mhm.
finally turned him around is he got a girlfriend in his senior year who was very motivated, and that she wanted him to go to college with her. So he buckled down and like turned out A's the rest of the fucking year.
What are you saying that a man put an effort to try to impress a woman?
I don't want to go that
What?
far. I don't.
What? No,
Well, she was-
so what is the because my parents, my dad was a bit of an authoritarian for several reasons that weren't necessarily conscious. I won't go into it, but my mother was very caring. I sort of had a balance. My mother was a saint. My father was kind of a tyrant a little bit, but not like an abusive one. And I turned out okay. I can look back and say, I didn't do as good as I could have in some things and others. I always felt supported, but I never felt pressured. What is and this may be a rhetorical question, but you look at an old story like Mommy Dearest, where you've got like a completely psychopathic perfectionist trying to raise a daughter and everything's got to be perfect all the time, no wire hangers. And then you've got like the complete slacker. You can have really productive people conceivably come out of either of these things, but what is the balance between expecting a lot of your child without like being psychotic about it? I mean, you would maybe have some answers with your daughter, but I don't know. I'm just curious.
It depends on the child. With my daughter, I didn't have to do anything. That child was born trying to do her best. We potty trained her literally by going, big girls use the potty, and she wanted to be a big girl. That day, no more diapers. Anytime, seriously, that's how she is.
Nice.
My sons are way more like their dad. And I was always very smart in school, but I was also very fucking lazy. I don't have a photographic memory, but I can remember most things enough to ace a test. So as long as I just listen for a little bit, fuck it, I didn't have to do anything else.
See, I'm more like that, which is why when I didn't get A's, I would get so confused and upset about things.
See, the places that I always
Student.
had trouble more in your English classes. Like spelling has always been a problem for me. And I obviously don't see things the same way everybody else does all the time. So when we would be like, you know, what did this book mean? My answer was not always the same as other people, but a math test I could pass without even trying. My mom had to assert pressure on me because I was very lazy about it, though. I wouldn't do my homework because I didn't want to be fucked with it. So I needed that guidance, and she wouldn't beat me or anything. She would just not let me up from the table till my homework was done, which was sometimes like way past my bedtime because I just refused to do it. There's not an easy answer for every child. It depends on the kid. But you do have to assert some pressure. You can't just be a hippie who goes, oh, they'll learn on their own. That Will Smith and their stuff that they did with their kid. It's just fucking moronic. You can't let kids make
What are
their
they
own
doing
decisions.
with their kids?
See, I knew I shouldn't bring this up because I don't remember the exact thing. They let them make all kinds of decisions for themselves when they were still minors. Shit that any normal parent would go, no, kids don't get to make those decisions.
Well, they also pump their kids' heads with all these thoughts that anything that they do is pretty much gold.
Yes,
and
yes.
so then you've got, I mean, it's sort of the extreme example of the entitlement generation mindset, where like you must coddle Dr. Spock kind of emotions are paramount over everything else, and the result is Jaden Smith and
Exactly.
his sister. I mean, probably Jaden Smith more than his sister, I think, but
much more, yeah. At this
he's
point,
far more outspoken. But yeah, and it's just weird. If you ever there's this Howard Stern clip where he goes and listens to a whole bunch of interviews that like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith gave to like Oprah or whatever, and the crazy, weird, culty kind of stuff. It's sort of like if you took Tom Cruise unfiltered and put him on a talk show, which has happened once in a while.
Right.
It sounded really, really sort of culty. I don't know what they're up to there, but whatever. I mean, when you get that rich, that young, and everybody tells you how awesome you are, and you've got the talent to prove it and not be questioned, I think you probably
Do they really
will go
have
nuts.
talent though?
Will Smith, I think.
Will Smith is see, we're going to end up in, okay.
No, we're not going to
talk about his rap career.
Yeah. So, okay, let's put it this way.
Parents Just Don't Understand still is one of the best songs.
Will Smith as an overall entertainer. I mean, pick your genre, pick your medium. As an overall entertainer, Will Smith has been both very successful and, you know, with some, you know, exceptions that we could go into when we talk about movies, has also been very successful in everything else he's. I mean, he's a very talented guy. He if you've seen him sing, if you've seen him act, if you've seen him do a whole bunch of stuff, he's very good.
Yeah, I just mean the Spawn.
The Spawn, no.
Oh, the Spawn, no. I mean, he tried
not contesting the.
Yeah, he tried to give his daughter a music career, and she had one like.
Yeah, she whipped her hair back and forth.
She had a Rebecca Black moment, and Jaden Smith is just after Earth is all I'll say. Moving on.
I still love Rebecca Black's Friday. I listen to it at least once a month. That song is, and she made a follow-up called Saturday.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's awesome.
At least she doesn't take herself seriously.
Yeah, that had to be hard for her when it first happened.
Yeah.
She was like 13 when it happened.
Yeah, and that was a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Fuck, she got paid for it, and she's doing well now.
Yeah, as long as you don't take yourself seriously, you'll be a hell of a lot better off than most people.
Oh, is Bering here? Hi, Bering.
Oh, is the Australian here?
I had a topic. God damn it.
Well,
I gotta stop doing that.
Bering has screwed up your topic. Oh, great. Thanks,
Fuck
Bering.
you, Bering. Cunt.
Yeah, Bering. Jesus.
I just love being able to call him a cunt where he can't answer back.
Well, he can. It's just that nobody will see it, and we can ignore him, and nobody will know. See, this is the fun. This is the power we have, chat. You can say everything you want, but in the grand scheme of memoriam, no one will know unless we say so.
Yeah, because we don't pay attention to it enough.
And Monkey doesn't have a computer strong enough to actually put your chat into the window, so that's why.
Oh, this thing, it's been pissing me off all day. I'm actually having to use my Wi-Fi because the cord isn't working. It keeps disconnecting me every 5 minutes. I can't figure out why.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't like working off Wi-Fi. It's slower. Oh, and I have enough problems with it. I live literally 200 feet from where I could get cable internet, but they won't run the damn cable up here. I'm like, you fuckers.
I'm trying to find a news story or something to talk about while you think. So,
what were we talking about last? Oh, Will and Jaden Smith.
Will Smith. Yeah, Will Smith.
Dr. Spock was a fucking lunatic who never had children. And
and we're talking about the psychologist, not Star Trek. Yes, everyone, we're not talking about movies. We're talking about a person who just happened to be named Dr. Spock. So just calm down.
He was an asshole, and his whole premise, and it largely was to get rid of spanking. But there were so many fucking retarded things this guy thought of that clearly show you he never actually had a child.
Shall I read a little capsule of the guy off of
sure.
Wikipedia? Okay. Benjamin McLean Spock was an American pediatrician whose book Baby and Child Care, published in 1946, is one of the best sellers of all time. The book's premise to mothers is that, quote, you know more than you think you do, unquote, which is always a really smart way to go.
What?
Spock was the first pediatrician to study psychoanalysis to try to understand children's needs and family dynamics. His ideas about childcare influenced several generations of parents to be more flexible and affectionate with their children and to treat them as individuals. However, they were also widely criticized by colleagues for relying too heavily on anecdotal evidence rather than serious academic research. In addition to his pediatric work, Spock was an activist in the New Left and anti-Vietnam War movements during the 1960s and early 1970s. At the time, his books were criticized by Vietnam War supporters for allegedly propagating permissiveness and an expectation of instant gratification that led young people to join these movements, a charge Spock denied. Spock also won an Olympic gold medal in rowing in 1924 while attending Yale University.
Well, maybe that explains it. Maybe he accidentally got hit in the head with an oar. Because he was... If you've ever had children, children need discipline. I mean, unless you have my daughter, who, like I said, was an oddity. My boys, oh my God. Boys will drive you insane. My son did something once that made my wife look at me and go, is he okay? I'm like, yeah, he's just a boy. Leave him alone. Boys need structure. And what Spock did, and he started this really, was take the idea of discipline and just completely fuck it up.
Oh, Monkey Chat's been asking, how many kids do you have?
I have 3.
He's 3. You're welcome.
That he knows of.
That I know of. I'm not a slut. Damn.
Not now.
My oldest is my daughter, and then I have 2 sons. But yeah, you have to have some discipline. And Spock's basic theory is what we see today. You know, just let kids do what they want. The kids are fine. They're actually really intelligent and know what they need and know what they want. And it's the exact opposite of how Asians raise their children. It's how Trigglypuff was raised.
Yeah, it's all positive reinforcement. Every shit that you take is made of gold. Very good. You're a good boy. You're a good girl. Just whatever you feel, that's the right way to feel because that's who you are. Da 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 da.
Yeah, and I can tell you with almost certainty that if I was not disciplined, I would be in jail right now because I get very bad ideas, and I had to learn that there are consequences to keep me from doing that.
My father was a bit of a tyrant, but at the same time, looking back, because you know, as most, well, maybe most, but most people understand when they get older and they look back at what they might have thought as their parents being mean or strict or something else. Like you say, you could probably look back and say, yeah, that actually helped. My father had a lot of problems in his own head, but he acted in such a way that kept me very on edge about my own behavior, about my own actions, and made me second guess a lot of things, somewhat to an unhealthy degree. But looking back on it, it's kind of like, well, he made me more cautious about what I'm doing. He made me think before I act. And he also showed that, you know, there's a time for being unemotional that is healthy. because I mean there was a lot of what we see today is that emotions take precedence over everything else. You have to cater to a student's emotions or anything else. No, I mean if you want to get something done, emotion has nothing to do with it most of the time, unless you're like trying to be an actor. Oh my God, I can't get away from movies.
Real quick, chat just mentioned that the screen is locked on me. I have no idea why that is. I didn't do it.
Did you click on your picture on the control panel?
I had not.
Is there a little white square around your picture on the control panel?
No. Well,
No.
Wait. I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out, guys. Anyway, keep talking. Sorry.
Click on your portrait and see what happens. Click on.
No, it's flipping flopping now, so it's all good.
Flippy floppity.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I kind of lost train of thought, but anyway, yeah. Structure. If you have to set boundaries because kids are just a big bucket of emotions, and when they're young, they don't have the ability to distinguish between how much is too much or how little is too little. You have to set those things in order to sort of, train them and give them the sort of guidance they need in order to become a healthy, functional adult. If you just let them run rampant, you get a complete nutbag by the time that they're 18 or 20.
They also don't have the experience. They don't understand. I know this is a fucked up thought, but my granddaughter is a fucking spider monkey. She tries to crawl on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep hoping she has a fall. Not one that seriously hurts her, but one that makes her realize, okay, this might not be a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, you can give... I had this argument with my father one time.
Holy shit, Undoomed is here too?
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say that.
Hi, guys.
One of the best arguments I ever had with my father was after he found out I was messing around with a married woman. This is several years ago now. And
that's the best start of a story ever.
Yeah, I know, right? So I had, this is a long story. This actually involved me getting punched in the throat by a jealous husband, but that's a completely different story. So he found out that I was messing around with a married woman, and he and I had one of our longest standing shouting matches at each other. And he was like, "You can't do this. Do you know what you're setting up?" And I stood there and I took it and I said, "You know what, Dad? Rationally, I know you're absolutely right, but until I find out for myself, you're just telling me stories."
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it's this paradox. It's like my rational brain knew I was probably setting myself up for a fall. At the same time, I didn't know it for a fact. And you can try to protect. I mean, and full disclosure, I'm not a father. The closest I've ever gotten to a parent is one of my girlfriends had a couple of little kids that I took care of for a while. But other than that, you cannot protect your children from their own experiences. Their experiences shape who they will be and how they will operate. You can tell them, you can warn them, you can give them advice when they need it. But at the end of the day, advice is just old stories brushed off of their dust and handed back to somebody else on the chance that maybe it'll be useful to them. That's it.
I agree with what you're saying, but you still have to try.
No, I understand. No, it's not giving up. I'm not saying giving up. I'm not saying that at all.
Scribe saying let your kids do whatever because they're not going to listen to you.
No.
Hashtag he's Dr. Spock.
No, that's not it. No.
I get what you're saying, and absolutely, you're correct. But the reason like your dad still said that to you is because once you had that experience, or when you're getting to that point where, oh wow, Dad might have been right, it does click in your brain eventually.
No, exactly, and that's where I was. That's kind of where I was going. I didn't mean to like go into Dr. Spock territory. I'm not saying just like, oh, let your kids screw up. That's all the learning they'll need to know. No. But there's a balance there between guidance and also allowing your child to fail. They have to be allowed to fail. You cannot coddle them. You cannot protect them, wrap them up in a pillow case and just never let them go outside. You have to let them fuck up.
These days, I feel so bad for teachers. I mean, a lot of them deserve shit, but so many of them, how dare you fail my little boy? Your little boy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Your little boy couldn't find the door without a map and a guide. He's an idiot because you raised a fucking idiot.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. They need to be able to fail so that they can succeed. You don't learn to succeed by, people kissing your ass all the time when you're a fucking moron, except maybe Donald Trump.
Yeah. How do you learn not to run in the hall until you scrape your knee? You have to be able to do these things. And then, if you don't.
Funniest.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of the funniest things I ever saw, and this is absolutely horrible. I was at work at Walmart one day, And there's this little girl just running as fast as she can down the aisle. And her dad says to her, "Stop running. You're going to get hurt." And at that moment, she turns to look back at him. And a cart comes around the corner.
Oh, no.
And she turns back right in time to face plant smack into it.
Oh.
And I know it was wrong to laugh, but life lesson. If you're going to run, keep looking forward. That's all I'm saying.
I have an unrelated child story. It's not a story of my own. It's one that was told to me, but it's the funniest thing I think I've ever heard about a little kid. A friend of mine, he was babysitting his little niece, and his little niece was this like 3-year-old, curly blonde hair, just the picture of angelicness, right? And so he's watching TV and he's babysitting his niece. His niece walks in the room and she's wearing like her almost like Sunday best with her little Mary Jane shoes and little tights and all this other stuff. And she looks up at him and she says, "I have to have a bowel movement." And he looks at her and goes, "You what?" "I have to have a bowel movement." He's like, "Okay, well, go have it. What do you want me to do?" You have to help me so I don't fall in." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So he stands up and he takes her little hand and leads her down the hallway to the bathroom. And he like leads her into the bathroom. He like starts closing the door a little bit. And she's like, no, you got to keep the door open in case I fall in. And he's like, okay. So he's kind of standing there like halfway, not looking, but, sort of being there because apparently he has to be like, overseeing this. And so she goes over to the toilet, the big kid's toilet. She like climbs up. She has to like put her hands on the seat and like pull herself up and then situate herself. So she's practically falling in, but she's just big enough to not. And then she reaches underneath her little skirt and pulls down her little panties. And then and this is the description I was given, she grabs her knees, pulls them up to her chest with her feet planted on either side of the toilet, and lets out a shit like an old man. And he just about dies.
Yeah,
he just like dies. He's just like this little 3-year-old letting out this rip. And it's just like, and I just have, as he's telling this story, I'm thinking, this is the sickest, funniest thing I've ever heard. That was the story. That's all. No, there's no benefit to that story. There's no lesson to be had. I just thought I'd tell it.
I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah, well, one
There's nowhere to go.
time, Faye and I were talking to Sugar Tits in a live stream, and I forget exactly what the context was, but Tits was telling us that she was like on a playground and tried to fly and just jumped off something and face planted into the dirt.
If you watch kids long enough, you will see them do something horrible that will just make you laugh that you shouldn't laugh at because they're kids and they don't know any better.
Hitler was right. What?
My granddaughter right now is at the stage where she repeats everything I say, and I swear way too much apparently, because there's nothing funnier than a almost 2-year-old saying motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, whoops! I should probably take that out of the language for a while.
That happened to a friend of mine who he had what was it? He had married a lady with a couple of grown children, and her son was mad at him one day, and he was like maybe 12 or 13 or something. And he looked at my friend and he says, "You're a motherfucker." And he looks down at the kid and says, "Yes, I am. Yours."
Nice.
Oh, God.
It was amazing.
I still remember when I learned that bastard was a bad word. I called my friend
but it
when
really isn't, is it?
Well, it used to be.
I guess it depends on context, but
You can use it on TV now, but you didn't. This was in the 80s, so it was a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a bad word like in real life, but you can say it on TV.
I'm still amazed when I watch a network TV show and somebody says something like "nice ass" or something like, God, that never would have been said on TV when I was a kid. Like even on like Hill Street Blues, you never would have heard that shit.
It's amazing what they will allow on TV now that didn't used to be, but what they won't allow that used to be on. Like Archie Bunker could never be on TV now.
Oh, no way. Exactly.
But Archie Bunker never said bitch. He never said ass. He,
no.
sure as hell never dropped a cock on anybody.
Do you think Married
Hey,
with
Satsu.
Children? You think married with children be allowed on TV these days?
No, not
No?
in the way it started, especially.
No, definitely not. Not with like the slut daughter and all that stuff.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Sat.
Hi.
What's going on?
SDA, do you know Sat?
I think we have spoken once or twice before.
We've had a couple encounters. Yeah.
Whoa,
Nothing.
encounters,
Hey.
eh?
Not
Scribe.
like that.
We have 2 minorities this time.
Yay.
It's not just white guys.
So when you started talking about the kids and the parenting or whatever, I flipped out because my girlfriend's been making me watch on Netflix. What is it? I think it's Doc Martin or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a really good show. I actually
It
like
is.
it. But there were these people who moved into this apartment or into one of the condos over there, and they had this kid that was like wreaking havoc around the fucking town or whatever. And their parenting was exactly what you were talking about, where they're just like, he was in the doctor's house and he broke something. And the lady started talking about it. And he was like, could you like drop it now? We don't like to linger on the things that he does because you're focusing too much on the thing and not the experience. And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he just broke a dish and he didn't clean it up. He just walked off. And they're like, yeah, but you're sweating the small stuff and you're making them nervous. You keep talking about the situation too much. And we don't like to dwell on these things too much. And she was like, oh my God.
No.
I was like, holy shit.
Now, see,
Somebody kill that kid.
And I just to echo things back a little bit, this is one of the things that, and I mentioned this earlier, when Obama did not go back and prosecute or even look into the prosecution of the war crime stuff, the precedent that set not only legally, but also morally, the idea that you could have the highest office in the land for 8 years in so many ways stretch, bend, or break the power of the executive in order to get away with stuff that would probably be classified as war crimes and not have any consequences befall the people in charge. To me, as a sort of societal shift, I'd almost say that emboldens people to think I can get away with murder and not have any consequences come my way, especially when it's coming from the top.
I am so lost how we just got there.
Well, he was talking about how we don't want to sweat the small stuff.
Okay.
He broke the dish. We're not going to dwell on it and everything else. It's just this idea of I can do something and have the expectation I will not face consequences for it, and then just keep going on that way.
That's what we're raising kids to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that the sort of I'm just bringing it back to the Obama thing was kind of emblematic of that same mindset. It's like, well, that's in the past now. We're not going to deal with it because we have to move forward and et cetera, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Satsu, let me ask you a question here.
Huh?
Growing up, the black mothers I knew were the only mothers more strict than my own.
Mm-hmm.
They would smack the shit out of me if I did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Was your mom like that?
Oh my God. I wake up in cold sweats off of some of the ass whoopings that I think about when I was a kid. Like, my mom used to beat this shit out of us. And like when we got grounded, like it was like for the summer. She's like, you're grounded for the summer. Not next week, not 2-3 weeks. And what she would do is she would take the curtains off the windows. She would open them on a really nice day. She'd be like, I want you to see what you're missing.
Nice.
I'm like, oh my God. But that shit worked because like all of us, we have never been in any significant trouble. My brother grew up, he went to the Navy. I'm a shitlord, so maybe that didn't go too well. But like everybody else is, and my mom has 5 kids and we're all like, we've never been in any significant trouble. We all graduated. None of us has ever been to jail or anything like that. And like, my mom didn't just hit us. She told us why. She was like, this is why you got hit.
Oh yeah.
If you don't want to get hit, then don't do this, and my mom was one of those, I got to grab whatever's the closest to beat you with, and you just better hope we ain't in the kitchen.
My dad actually made a paddle that mom kept in reach. And the sad thing, when I was really young, we went to a private school, and my dad made an identical paddle for the school. So I've literally had my ass beaten the same day by one paddle and its twin.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Kinky.
Yeah. That's why I don't like spanking, goddammit.
Yeah, my mom didn't play around, man. And another thing she used to do too is like whenever our friends came over and they spent the night or they hung out with us or whatever, she was like, as long as you are in my house, you are my child.
Exactly.
So I'm responsible for you. If they get their ass kicked for doing something, you're getting your ass kicked too. If you don't want to get your ass kicked, then you can't come over. Mm-hmm. That's a part of the package. You want to spend the night? then if they get in trouble, you get in trouble. You can call your mom. I'll call her for you and let her know that I kicked your ass.
Well, yeah. If I got in trouble at somebody else's house, they would call my mom, and then I would get in trouble at home too.
Mm-hmm.
You learn very quickly. One of the things it does teach you, though, is how to do shit really sneakily.
Oh, for sure. Man,
because you do learn consequences.
Maybe this is just like a girl thing, but like we never had any of these problems. I don't know. Like,
girls are nice. Boys need their ass whipped. We just do.
Girls are sugar and spice and everything nice.
No, we used to set heists. Like we used to plan our shit out. Like, you know.
Well, girls do it too, but I think we just start out that way.
That's probably, my sister was like, she was the only girl, so I think that's where her like rebellion streak came from, because she was like the only girl, you know. So whenever the boys did something, she would usually blame it on us, or she would do something like really shitty and then like be crying when my mom gets home, and my mom's like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "They did it." Motherfucker.
I have always said, having raised my own children, girls are mean, boys have no common sense. The girl will say something that will just break your fucking heart.
Hell
My daughter to this day can crush me.
Uh-huh.
And then the boys will do something like, my son shot out a window on my garage with his paintball gun. And he actually told me, I was shooting at the wall and I missed. He nailed this fucking window dead center. I'm like, you are fucking lying to me. You cannot do that on accident.
He accidentally shot it on purpose. I used to do that shit all the time.
I'm glad your aim is good, but
oh man.
No, girls are terrible. Like if I'm ever in an argument with somebody, it's always a mess because I'm like, do I say that? I shouldn't say that out loud.
Yeah, girl, you'd never give your daughter or your girlfriend, for that instance, any ammunition, like, because I'm telling you.
Yeah, because like whenever we argue with you, we're like, do I bring up your childhood fears or do I let that slide?
they'll go after the fucking jugular. They don't care, man. And
no, we don't.
They'll apologize later, you know, and be like,
we're like, oh yeah,
well,
do you remember your puppy that died when you were 2?
Oh, y'all want to hear something fucked up? This is an actual thing my wife said to me one time when she was mad at me. For those of you who don't know, my mom passed when I was 14 years old. My wife looked at me and told me my mom died to get away from me.
Oh yeah, that's something a woman would say.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yo, I would have slid her them papers so quick. Like, here you go.
She's lucky I love her. But yeah, I was like, holy fuck, you are brutal.
Yeah. Like I said, whenever like we're upset, we're like, do I go there or do I not go there? Maybe not. I'll save that for next time when I'm really upset.
Oh, and the worst thing is like when you're hanging out with your friends and shit, and it's like, this is like the moment your girlfriend meets your friends and you piss her off, and oh my god, and she just start revealing shit about you. Like,
shit, Andy's watching us too. I feel pressure now.
What kind of pressure? Is it located in your junk?
It's you're gonna feel a little pressure.
Oh yeah.
For the ones asking if she's still my wife, this is an absolutely true story. I married the meanest woman I ever met on purpose because I like a woman who fights back, and I didn't take that personally. I really didn't. She was pissed off, and no big deal.
I like it when they fight back. Makes it exciting.
I really do. I don't like it when they just lie there. Whoops. Wrong conversation.
I like a sweat kick to the nuts.
See, Andy's here and I just went there. That's not right.
Well, you said you felt pressure to like entertain or something, right? So there's your attempt.
I feel like Andy's into it, so you know. No biggie.
Man,
I feel like Andy might be into it.
So far, we've had Bearing, Undoomed, Andy Worski. So we just
and me.
And you, okay, all right, and you, but we need Sargon to jump in here for like 3 seconds to make it like a whole kind of weird.
Just poke their head in.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so funny too. They're just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Just poke their head in, you know. Just poke their head in.
Well, I'm a fan of all of them. I love watching their stuff, and it's not.
Yes. You dropped the thought there, or your mic went dead. One of the two.
Did he have a heart stroke?
It's the drugs.
If he had a harder stroke, I think that might be chafing.
No, I said a harder stroke.
Oh, I see. Let's see. We got Based Mama as well.
Okay, there we go.
And what did you mess up your mic again?
He died.
No, my connection went a little wonky, and I couldn't hear anybody.
Right. Okay.
Oh, well, we were just talking about your hardest stroke. That's a Satsu thing, not
Yeah.
me.
What is your hardest stroke?
He had a heart stroke. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. The what now?
Nothing. No, never mind. It's okay. You don't have to know. Should
I'm gonna have to watch
should
this
we go
back
over?
to find out.
No,
Yeah.
Should we go over to the chat and like have chat ask questions, or are we at that point yet?
Oh, if chat wants to start asking questions, that's cool.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on it.
if you guys want to know where that came from, though, my uncle is from Tennessee, and he likes compounding words that mean the same thing. So it's like a mixture of heart attack and a stroke.
Oh,
And when the first time he said it, I almost pissed myself.
my favorite of those is confuzzled. I got confuzzled, like confused and puzzled at the same time. Confuzzled. I like that.
Oh, is that where that comes from? I've never
Yes, it was all from me. I originated it. Copyright, trademark. Scribe.
I like the one that Pinkie Pie uses where she's like, "I'm nervous-sighted."
Nervous-sighted.
Nervous-sighted.
Yeah, it's like where you're nervous and excited.
Favorite serial killer, Theoretical Chaos says. Mine's a split between Zodiac and Israel Keys for supervillainy.
I don't think I have a
favorite serial killer because I'm not a fucked up piece of shit.
Whoa.
And Scribe just told us who his was, so let that sink in.
I'm sorry.
You're hardcore.
You're not sorry.
Scribe Light, can you slap SDA for us?
No.
With what appendage shall I attempt to do that?
No.
Who's my favorite? Undoom, Bering, or Andy? Oh, that's a fucked up question to ask with them all here.
Yeah, that's tough.
However,
Bering
has highlighted me a few times.
No, that's true.
I love him. He gets props.
And he gave you that music intro.
He did. Anybody who's wondering, my music intro is stolen directly from Bering.
Yeah. So
if you want,
if you want Monkey Love, you have to bribe him with like free intro music.
What the hell were we talking about a minute ago? You guys are supposed to be my hard drive.
Okay, well, Andy Worski has a question.
Oh, favorite episode of Decoded. I like the one where they get like all the actors and not like actors, but like they get shitty actors and they're like, "Don't ask me where Taco Bell is."
Oh my god!
No,
I like the one where
race ambassador.
Yeah, that one.
That one was funny too, but the shit that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for black people.
Yes,
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like why is there a Black History Month?
Yeah, and it was
like
the cell phone wouldn't exist because black people created the cell phone, and I'm like, did they?
Like shoes and computers, they wouldn't.
Yeah, it was like you wouldn't have dope shoes if it weren't for blackies.
We wouldn't have black people if it wasn't for black people. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
Base Mom is yelling at me to read her question. I must have.
Well, you scroll back up. I'm going to answer the one on the table.
What's the most embarrassing moment that you also wouldn't undo if you could?
Oh my god.
No.
My most embarrassing moment that I wouldn't undo if I could. I used to work at I'll just say a shop as I got out of college, and as a consequence, I had to part of the uniform. You had to wear an all black outfit, so like black pants, black shirt, and everything. And my hair was slicked back. And so one day I'm standing there, and this was at a mall, and a Asian gentleman comes up and he wants to buy one of the products at the store. And so I take the product and I start putting it together in order to sell to him. And he's looking at me really weird the whole time. And I'm like looking at me like he's suspicious of something. And so I'm getting everything ready and I say, okay, well, that'll be like 40.72 or something. And he pulls out his wallet and looks up at me and says, "Both of your parents weren't Caucasian, were they?"
Oh my god.
And I look at it, I say, "Excuse me? One of them was Asian, yes?" Like, not unless there's a milkman I don't know about. And this was in front of like 17 other customers. It was really weird and awkward, but I love the story. So there you go.
Do you have like little squinty eyes?
I beg your pardon.
I'm just asking.
It's
not like you were doing math unless you rang that up in your head.
No. I do have, I guess I have slightly squinty eyes, I suppose, in relation to the rest of my face. But I don't know. It was just so weird.
Andy asked what our favorite BuzzFeed clips are. I don't even know. There's so many.
God. The one, for me, it's still the Thanksgiving one where they're threatening to kill their parents if they vote for Trump.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Because that was horrible. It was so fucking stupid.
Yo, I still like the 36 questions that women have for men because that was like my most viewed video, and I had so much fun debunking that bullshit.
that one where they're talking about man spreading and she doesn't have to spread her arms apart because of her tits. No, because you have a torso that separates your arms from you. It doesn't squish them. If I put my legs together, literally my nuts hang between them and get squished.
It's like, okay, any woman who doesn't get man spreading should just like take, I don't know, like an orange.
They should be cunt punched is what should happen.
Tape it to like their snooch and just
snooch. You know, it's sort of like snatch and like gooch at the same time. What?
That is the worst word I've ever heard.
Snooch.
No, I still think gash is the worst. That's
Snooch.
just so nasty.
Yeah, gash sounds
gash
really
is pretty
disgusting.
good.
What subject do you avoid covering? Anything that bores me.
MGTOW.
I love covering MGTOW. It's just funny.
I don't. I can't. I don't want to deal with it, man.
It's a short conversation in my head. MGTOW. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. Unless there's something more interesting about it.
MGTOWs are great because, well, maybe it's because I'm a woman, so like maybe they hate me more, but they're hilarious.
Oh, if you're talking about individuals.
Feminists,
yeah,
they're like
individual
radical
people.
feminists that won't like block you.
Oh yeah.
Which is why it's so much fun.
They'll definitely talk to you.
Yeah, they'll keep going.
What triggered me this week? The comment that I talked about in my video today. I wanted to meet that guy and just slap the shit out of him.
What was the comment? I missed that.
It was on a young conservative girl's site, and he's talking. He actually says if it wasn't for feminists, she would be back in the kitchen in 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I thought you were talking about during the stream, but yeah.
No. Yeah, that comment. That is just so fucking retarded. Feminists are not keeping women out of the kitchen, and if a woman wants to be in the kitchen, she should be allowed to. Anyhow.
Oh my god, tampon tunnel.
What?
What?
I didn't see tampon tunnel.
Is that a theme park ride?
It is. It is. It's the second one. It's spelled with a T. It's SNOOTH. Snooch. That's the proper medical term.
Oh my god.
For a snooch.
Whoa.
What is that?
Magical. What's going on?
That was my phone.
Oh. Your audio suddenly went so cinematic for some reason.
Stay off of movies, damn it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That wasn't a movie. That was a TV show. If you can identify the TV show, if you can identify the TV show from which I apologize comes from, then you get a gold star.
I don't remember that.
Can I eat the gold star?
Yes, if you can guess the TV show, but I bet somebody in the chat will think about it before or come up with it before you guys do.
Yeah,
it's not an old TV show. It's a relatively new television show.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
What did Monkey want to talk about?
Oh, call me Oz. Got it in one. Deadwood. Very good. Congratulations, Oz. You get the gold star.
I think Monkey died.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Did someone choke the monkey? What?
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
The lady, are you asking if SDA is the lady that I did in my video today?
What?
Somebody in the chat said to the lady, "Are you the one that Ranting Monkey was talking about today?" If you mean in my video, no.
No, it's not me.
She's the one that I did a collab with 2 videos back.
What was the name of the girl that you did the video on today? I forget.
Anne
Chovy.
Levin?
Chovy.
That is such a shit joke. I should kick you for that. But
are you a dad? Because that was a dad joke.
That was a dad joke.
Yeah, I jumped on that one.
Dad jokes are the best.
Dad jokes are hilarious. Well, not according to that one bitch. Zarna,
no, dad jokes are the best thing ever.
Who is it? Zarna Joshi? Is that her name?
Zarna Joshi.
That is a
yeah.
question.
Disgusting.
SDA, can you slap your meat?
Wait, what was it? What was it? If you have to
lips?
ask, was that sexual harassment? It wasn't sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you have to ask, you'll never know.
It's like, was that sexual harassment?
Yeah, that whole exchange is just like one of the most epic things.
You can
No,
tell
that
she
actually
was
made
really
me
trash.
sad for her, because if she thought that was sexual harassment, nobody's ever
Right.
sexually harassed her before.
Nobody's
Right.
ever even talked to her before.
Yeah.
It's like, aw, you need a dildo like yesterday.
No, she needs a dude. She needs somebody to pound the
Oh,
shit out of her.
Have you seen Sai 10's latest cartoon with her in it?
I have not.
Oh
Oh,
God, yeah,
God.
it's the latest episode of Truck of Peace, and it just came out. It's got Milo in it and a whole bunch of stuff. It's hilarious, and she's.
I
in there
saw
too.
the thumbnail. I haven't watched it yet. It's
It's
got
funny.
Milo
It's
standing
funny.
there with the little kid sucking his cock.
Oh God, yeah, he had to. I guess he had to like edit it because the first version that came out had some pretty sick stuff in it, and I guess he had to tone it down. Amazingly enough.
Holy
That's nice
shit.
that that's the toned down one.
Yeah, no, I think you might have seen the thing before it was toned down. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't watched the revision yet, but I assume he had to take out some stuff.
That's funny. I think I might have seen. Well, no, I might have seen the channel that you're talking about that puts out those videos.
Yeah,
but
Saitan, he's a genius. Got his animation and just his vocalizations and accents and just everything is just hilarious.
I know it's wrong, but when there's like the truck attacks, his videos with the trucks.
Oh
plowing
yeah,
through
the
people.
Truck of Peace. Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, it's dark.
So
humor.
bad, but so good. How could you keep an erection looking at Zarna Josh? You turn off the lights. That's
Yeah,
No,
That's
lights
what
were
doggy
invented so you
style
could
is
fuck ugly
for.
people.
just look
No,
for the
my-
moist hole.
my mental image would still make me limp with her. Ugh.
Just slap it a few times. It'll wake up.
Oh, thanks for the tip, Dad.
I'm a giver.
Monkey's into some BDSM shit. I could tell.
No,
Oh,
that's Scribe. Don't
yeah,
get him
it's true.
started.
I could tell some stories. I
I still
love it
say
so-
you need to do that for videos, man.
I've been ever since that stream. I've had both directly and sort of indirectly been told that I should try something like that. Just as an aside, I don't know exactly what I would say because it's such a personal thing. All I could do is say, "This is what I think about it," but don't trust me. That's about it. So,
Huh.
Yeah, that's the advice you want when you're looking at BDSM.
well,
Yeah.
there's some basics. I mean, like,
But-
I'm still
but don't-
thinking about it. It would be a separate
Trust
channel.
me.
Monkey 2017.
That's actually one of my nicer ones. I should put that on a shirt.
See how many that's just gonna be on the news, dude. Like just start giving them out for free. You'll get like 7,000 subscribers as soon as that shit gets on the news.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, just start giving them out for free. And a new offensive shirt makes the rounds.
I'll just put a Walking Dead saying on there. I can't believe
Right.
they freaked out over that stupid shit.
Even
Oh yeah, that's right. Because it was like, wait, what was it? Like the eeny, meeny, miny,
Eeny, meeny,
moe.
miny,
yeah,
And they were like, "That's
Oh,
racist."
right. That was the original thing, though. That's the whole, and it's supposed to
No.
be. Wasn't the villain saying it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Oh my God, the bad guy said
original
something
thing
nasty.
wasn't even racist. Like it's had a bajillion different iterations over the centuries.
Yeah, my biggest argument against that is if you have to explain to everybody who you tell that it's racist why it's racist, then it's not racist.
Well,
Because
you're the
they should
racist.
know already. You
What
shouldn't
he
have
did
to
was just-
explain it to everybody you meet.
He just made it racist again.
Yeah.
Now everybody's going to be dropping nigger in there instead of tiger
Ta-da. Yeah,
because they didn't know what it was before.
Yeah, I'm like nobody knows
Yeah.
what you're talking about when you
Right.
say racist.
Because it's like, it's racist, and if everybody has, you're right. If everybody has to be like, how?
Yeah, then it's
And
not
maybe
racist.
it's
It
not
wasn't a problem.
yeah.
And the best part is he beats a white guy and an Asian, well, two white guys to death in the thing. So if it's racist at all, it should have been against them. Because
The fu-
Asians are white people now, don't forget.
Did you see he actually responded to well, he didn't really respond, but he put out a tweet and was like, "These people are fucking idiots."
Good for him. Good for him. There's
Yeah,
so many.
like
There's so many people who would capitulate to that kind of bullshit and just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize if I harmed him. And like, fuck you. I love it.
Man, if these people were smart, they would know that saying "fuck you" to these people is the best thing you could
Well,
possibly
that's what
do.
happened.
Mhm.
Like on that girl that wore that dress to the Oscars. Like,
Yes,
her music career just like took off, and then
it exploded.
yeah, it did
Right.
because like people actually like on the masses agree with that. They don't agree with the the left wing bullshit.
Yeah, you remember the Protein World deal from like a
Yeah,
year and a half, 2 ago? Yeah, where like they was like, oh, these ads are like, get your beach body ready. Like, oh, that's so offensive to women, and like
Protein World blew up.
Yeah, Protein
Yeah.
World was like, hey,
Hey,
you guys,
wait,
you
wait.
guys need to calm down.
Time out. Andy, everybody watches your videos. I did a video on it. Check mine out.
Yeah, Andy.
Ooh,
Snap.
territorial monkey.
And
Jesus.
then watch Andy's because his was good too.
Oh
Well, you can't have a monkey stream without shit flinging. So
That's right.
That's true.
That reminds me of like what Chris Pratt did, because he was like going on like a tour or whatever to talk about the Jurassic World, and people were upset because he had a tan. And he made like this giant Facebook post where he was like, I just want to apologize in advance for anything that I might say that might offend anybody ahead of time. It was just like this really long, patronizing, like pretty much satire piece.
Oh yeah.
And you can just point to that at any point in the future and just say, I already said sorry.
Right. I apologized ahead of time, motherfucker.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
This is my get out of jail free card forever.
Yeah. I love
I need to make a video just apologizing for everything. Just
did you see this Chris Pratt thing? He did a live Eminem beatbox thing one time. He was on a radio interview, and if you look it up, like Chris Pratt does "What About Dre," and he's just on a radio interview, and they're like, "So I hear that you're a big Eminem fan." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's all I listened to in a van when I was like poor and like living in a van." And they're like, "Oh well, which is your favorite song?" And he like goes through it, and then he starts freestyling "What About Dre" right there on the radio, and it's fucking amazing.
Oh my god. I love when celebrities I love when they come out and just say fuck you to people who are trying to call them out on shit, because it's just like that's the reaction you should expect, because they're like, I'm rich, and 9 times out of 10 anybody who's outraged by the shit that I say or do is not a fan of mine, so I don't give a fuck what you think. Shut up.
There was this thing where Jeremy Renner, I think, he was on Conan or something, and it was at the time where there was some undertone rumor that Black Widow had slept with half the Avengers and all this stuff, and people were getting all upset about it. And they asked Jeremy Renner about it. He's like, "Yeah, well, she's fiction." Like, yeah, okay. Oh no,
Well,
it's like, yeah,
was like that one time that Chris Evans was like, haha, yeah, Black Widow's kind of a slut.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody was like,
oh my God, what are you saying? Women are sluts.
It's like, no, like she's literally her character.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Miley Cyrus's tweet today?
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah, she's going to the UK.
I thought her
She's
Twitter was
leaving
taken
the
away.
US
She's leaving the U.S. for what?
because Trump won.
Wait,
No,
is she the
where's she
only one to
going?
follow up on her promise?
Apparently, the
Yeah.
Brits are going to take her off our hands.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to give her some props.
I thought we were supposed to lose Lena Dunham and like half the cast of girls at this
Well,
point.
they were just kidding.
Oh,
Lena
we're just
Dunham
kidding.
don't want to leave her sister.
Lena Dunham was kidding.
Oh, that's fucked up, Sat. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Holy shit. No, don't apologize for that. That was funny as fuck. Oh my God.
Oh boy. That was probably one of the worst things I've said this week.
And I thank you for saying it on my stream.
So Miley Cyrus goes to the UK. So is she going to start like adopting an accent? Oh, she can go visit Irate
probably.
Bear. Oh, she can go visit Irate Bear.
Oh,
He
you're
can-
gonna want to double
he
bag.
can go to her
man.
concerts now. Oh boy, I bet he'd like that.
Oh. I feel so bad for them because she's just so nasty. My daughter loves her, and I'm like, honey, she's fucking gross. She's not even cute.
Wait, are we still talking about Miley?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Fucking
Irate Bear.
my daughter. No, this is
My daughter's
something.
fucking gross.
This is something you don't want to happen if it's your daughter. My daughter was the head cheerleader.
Ooh.
So I was like at her side all the time watching. I will fuck anybody up who looks at her. We went to a water park when she was 14 and she developed early and
Uh-oh.
she wanted to wear a bikini. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And her mom's like, it'll be okay. And I about lost my shit because there was like a 40-year-old dude staring at my daughter. Like, dude, I will fucking kill you. Don't even think about her like that.
That makes me wonder if my dad has stories like that, because like I developed pretty early too. I don't know. It wasn't something I thought about as like a 40. Well, by the time I was 15, I was thinking about it. Wait, what? Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Any dad with a daughter is going to have those stories because it's a strange thing as a guy because you grow up just staring at women all the time. And then you have a daughter and she is completely different. She is not a woman. She's your little girl.
Tell me more about your development, SDA. The chat wants to know. It's not just for me.
That's so funny.
That's so lame blaming the chat for your fetish. Weirdo.
But they're there. They say things. They make themselves available.
Did anybody ask about her development besides him?
Nope. I didn't. I was looking at the chat.
No, hey, the chat isn't on the stream. No one will ever know. They were all asking about it, I swear.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's a
Yeah.
loophole. We're gonna have to close that as soon as I
Look,
get it.
anytime I'm in a stream, I always got the chat up just in case.
Well,
Yeah,
we keep it up, but we rarely pay attention to it.
Mm.
There's always some wild shit going on, so I always got to
Yeah, I pay attention to the chat.
Do you think the
Okay,
Brits
more
will
questions,
vet?
guys. While we're
Do you think the
talking.
Brits will vet Miley Cyrus before she crosses their border?
Oh, I hope they do. No, I hope they don't.
I wonder how
Oh.
many things they're going to confiscate out of her vagina.
Oh,
I'm wondering. Oh, that's nasty. You are on a roll tonight.
damn, dude! I thought I was being weird with the whole SDA development thing. Jesus.
Well, look, I mean, Monkey Gutenberg and I, we talked extensively about SDA's early sex
Oh.
life. So
Well, if
Oh, yeah.
Gutenberg's in the chat, everything's gross.
I'm wondering why Miley's not going somewhere else in the UK or in the EU, because they're closing off their borders and everything. They're kind of trumping it over there.
Well, that was the one thing that always aggravated me about immigration when everybody was talking about it. I'm like, no other country just lets you fucking just walk in.
Right.
I mean, outside of the big immigration thing that's going on, and like Sweden and all these other places that are having
In
all
the
these
EU,
issues. Yeah, I'm just like, before this, like if you get caught in Russia or someplace with no identification or no nothing, your ass is grass. They throwing you in some hidden prison, and you're gonna be on that TV show, Locked Up Abroad.
Yeah. Go try to live in Mexico. Just go down there and just say, I'm gonna live here now, and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Look
Go
at what
to
happened to that
Berlin, go
Marine
to-
who
Yeah,
accidentally
right?
went across the border.
yeah,
Right.
by accident. It was an accident.
Right.
And yeah, that fucker ended up in jail for months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But everybody want to act like that shit is just uncommon. Like all the fucking borders everywhere else are just totally open, and we got the problem. I'm like, please.
Yeah, we're just racist bastards.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I feel like we should just prioritize immigration from other, English-speaking countries and just start
Well, we
there.
used to do that. We used to do
Yeah.
it for people who were more likely to, and it wasn't just because they were white people. It was because they were more likely to assimilate easily
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you're
because
from
they were white.
UK, if you're from
Because they were
Australia, if you're from these places where we have similar languages and cultures, you probs gonna be K.
Right.
What
You
the hell did you
prob's
just
gonna
say?
be K?
You're probably gonna be killed. I think that's what she meant.
I thought you was like
Yeah.
Special K cereal. What?
This is what-
No, your age is
Invite a
showing.
millennial, and now I can't understand the conversation.
Oh god.
I said you're probably gonna be okay.
That's not what you said. That's what you meant.
Not what you said. Yeah, it should be some. It shouldn't be some dumb American. It should be some dumb millennial.
Oh,
SDM. Here
you
we
two
go.
are throwing shade at each other today.
Mhm.
And I just said throwing shade. I'm so
He
ashamed.
definitely
Yeah,
said
right.
that.
And you have
Thanks, Grandpa.
and you're yelling at me for saying probs gonna be K. Really?
Oh,
right.
and BT Dubs, Monkey's 41.
BT
Yes,
does.
yes, I am.
That BT Dubs. I asked my sister, who's younger than me. I said, "Do people actually say BT Dubs?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Do they?
Apparently, with some places, I guess I heard this on a video one time where they're like BT Dubs, and like, what? And it took me a second because it's kind of like it's sort of like a spelling bee. Somebody said it out loud, and I sort of had to imagine it in my head. I was like, "What are they?" Oh, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Well, almost.
Oh no! For me, the first time I heard somebody say hashtag,
Oh, I hate
I
that
wanted
word.
to slap the fuck out of them.
No.
It's, yeah.
Wait, there was this kid in the museum I was in a museum, and we were just like looking at stuff, and the dude, he looked at a phone and he was like, "Mom, why do they have a hashtag on the phone if Facebook wasn't invented back then?" And I was just like, "Oh my god." Well, no, he said Twitter, but I'm like, what the fuck? This kid, please, somebody save him. Somebody save this poor child.
I just watched a video today. I was debating about doing a video on it, but they were talking about the history of Black Lives Matter and how it's like, and in 2013, we started the hashtag and it became a movement, all from a hashtag. And like every time I hear the word hashtag, it's like, shut up. Just stop. Stop.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's like a hashtag. It's a pound sign.
Yes, thank you. I wonder if like kids get stumped too, like if they're once they get out of the house and they like move on their own and they're paying bills and they're like, press pound after you enter the number, and they're like, fuck, what the hell is a
You're gonna
pound?
have to change it to press hashtag.
Yeah, oh
That's-
God.
Like, it's weird to me that like kids who are only 2 or 3 years younger than me know so much less about like, I don't know, older technology, if you want to put pound signs and like VHS tapes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And I'm like, you were 2 years younger than me. What do you mean you don't know what pound means?
I always put that at the end of like, if I have to write an email to someone and I have to go into like great detail on something because of the work I do, sometimes you have to do that. At the end of it, I'll say, I hope that didn't come across as VCR instructions. If you have any questions, write me back. And for the longest time, nobody said anything. They all kind of understood it. And then like, I think it was like 3 weeks ago or something, somebody writes me back and like, what's VCR? Is that some new product?
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh God, who am I talking? I said, you were born in 1992, weren't you? And they're like, yeah.
1992. How would you not know what a VCR is?
I don't know. I just guessed a year, and I guess I guessed right or something. But anyway, I was just like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I like the lady I used to date. Her 3-year-old was running around with a smartphone watching Netflix cartoons, and operating it. And I just thought, this is the Twilight Zone. I don't understand this.
This is like, sometimes sociology is really good. So we were talking about this in sociology class, and what they're finding out is that because kids are now able to interact with a screen, so with an inanimate object, you know how, because like you can't, when we were kids, like you couldn't touch something and make it move if it wasn't a thing, right?
Right, yes.
So you learn the difference between a representation of something and the actual thing.
Oh, is that like that video of that kid trying to make the magazine zoom in and out by using her fingers on it?
It's not necessarily like that.
Oh, okay.
But it's that they have a harder time differentiating between like real life and digital stuff, because like if you punch somebody in the face, right, they react. And then if you like touch a screen, it reacts. So it reacts like it's alive.
So the difference between a static image and something that's interactive.
Yeah.
I want to bring up 2 things real quick. A 19-year-old just said when we were kids to us.
Whatever.
And
you know what? It was relevant.
I know what you meant.
It
and
worked.
Andy asked about your sociology class. Don't you have a video up from?
I have several. So my first one was really good. I had a really great professor, and it was a lot of fun. It was really interesting. My one last semester was Introduction to Social Problems, and it was bananas. And in that class, because I was in there over the election, the day after the election, I actually have this recorded. It's unlisted. But if you guys DM me, I'll send you the link so you can watch it. It's because I live streamed it, and it was literally a therapy session the day after the election. So that was nuts.
I'd have just started coughing hysterically in the middle of class. Like, oh God, I'm so sick. Man, I'm allergic to bullshit. Hold on, I got.
And then
she wants to graduate, dude.
Fuck that, man.
And then this semester we learned about how Black people and Mexicans can't have nuclear families.
Oh yeah, I can vouch for that. That's 100% true.
So Black people and Mexicans aren't people.
No. We're
That's
not.
what I'm learning.
Well, no, actually, according to a new study, I guess we are the most human humans there are.
You're more human than human? Rob Zombie sung a song about you? What?
No, that's what the dude said. He said Black people are the only 100% humans. Everybody else is.
Oh, because you're from Africa originally, kind of thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
So Andy actually asked me if they had Play-Doh. They didn't have Play-Doh, but she did hand out 3 boxes of tissues.
Oh, did they pass it around?
Yeah, in case we cried and cried.
Wait, did they look up what culture made that tissue before they like started just using it?
Jeez.
I want to go back to college not to learn, but to take classes like this and just be a complete dick through the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I mean,
Community colleges are cheap, dude. Go for
like
it.
at this point, for one thing, it's super easy to do sociology classes. Like my professor gives us take-home exams. So even though it's a bunch of bullshit, like you can get A's really easily. So it helps pad out your GPA with harder classes, I'm just saying. But part of me wants to quit and part of me is just like, I need to see how bad this gets and report back. Taking one for the team, you're welcome.
Man, look, if I went to college, I would be on the news tomorrow.
In what fashion?
Well, I ain't gonna get into that. But
Oh,
just
okay.
know,
Mattress girl.
Oh yeah.
y'all gonna have to figure that one out on your own, though. Like, is she carrying it for no reason?
Oh my god.
Oh, I am a scumbag. God,
You
damn.
are, and I love you for it.
One of my favorite events in college. It was I had an English. I'm an English major. For those of you that don't know, one of my creative writing teachers.
Gay.
She gave us. She offered extra credit if we would go to this talk by a professional author, and just sort of show up and sort of ask questions. And so, the author, his name was Steve Martini. And of course, I thought Steve Martin at first. Like, no, Steve Martini. He's sort of like a poor man's John Grisham. He's got a big.
Okay.
He's got a big long list of books and series and like legal thrillers and stuff. And so I sat there and my teacher was there, which is really kind of awkward. But I was there with some other people. My teacher was there, and he went for about 15, 20 minutes talking about the industry and talking about how, he wished that he had thought of the idea of Sue Grafton, who does the alphabet killer books, where it's like A is for adultery and B is for betrayal, that kind of stuff, because she's got at least 26 novels right there already set to go. And after that, she can move on to numbers. He went for like 20, 30 minutes just talking about the industry of being an author and being a publisher and all this other stuff. And it was really interesting. But then after he stops and says, anybody have questions? I raised my hand. I said, you've talked a lot about the business, but do you actually enjoy writing? And he got this really quiet, contemplative look on his face. And he says, I'm good at the process, but I don't think I'm that great of a writer. This is my job. This is what I do to put my kids through college. And it was just, it completely blew away, because all my teachers, all my life to that point on writing and everything else, all talked about the craft and the art of it and all this other stuff. And this guy just was like completely pragmatic, stone cold business, and this is just the way it is. And it shattered my little world, because I've been so groomed by all these idealists about the writing, art, and all this other stuff. It was one of the best non-classes I ever had in regards to English majors and writing and stuff. And yeah, it was great.
Look at some of the most famous authors. Hemingway was a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
They're all depressed and kill themselves. And yeah, I don't recommend writing. It seems like it's worse than being a lawyer for your health.
If you can, as long as it's not
racist. Oh my god.
Oh god, because it's white. Yeah, and it's coming out of a black man, which means all black people want to be white inside.
Oh my god.
Hey, that was the argument for Darth Vader. Oh, I'm back on movies. Shit. Anyway, yeah, that was always the thing I learned from the authors that I knew, is that if all you tried to do was become a writer, you were going to have a very bad time. And then you had people like Tom Clancy, who spent most of his adult life being like an accountant. And then he took a stab at writing a thriller one time, and it just happened to be like Red Storm Rising and Hunt for Red October and all this other stuff. It just went crazy. So always have a backup plan. Don't make writing your main thing unless you plan to be a journalist. But these days, I wouldn't even go that direction. Honestly,
like with writing, because I'm working on a novel now, and it's, people don't think it's a lot of work, but it's so much work.
It's a lot of work.
Like even my character profile sheets, like I think I've got over 200 fields to fill out for like one character. It's a lot of work, and I feel like people talk about it like
it's only a lot of work if you're not E.L. James. If you're E.L. James, you just put some fanfic out there called 50 Shades of Grey and you're done.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But when you're actually like,
every stream we
we're
talk
talking
that.
about writing, and she's talking about actual effort in making a book, and I have to go towards the people that don't put any effort in and they still are successful. I hate those people.
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm addressing chat here real quick. White chocolate is not real chocolate. Don't eat that shit.
I love.
It's not real chocolate. It's not.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
But
I like dark.
it
chocolate.
is tasty.
It's
it
a
has its
lie, is
place.
what it is.
It has its
Wait.
place.
Can we back up? What did you
Sure.
say?
Me say?
Yeah.
I like dark chocolate.
Okay. Just making
Okay. There's a new ringtone, folks.
Just
Oh,
making
yeah.
sure. I had to
Dark
record that.
chocolate.
That's gonna be my new ringtone.
Does anybody eat that weird chocolate shit like where they put peppers in it?
Oh, I've had.
Yes, it's nasty.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, the kind with fucking salt. That's evil.
That should be
Really?
like, that
No,
should be
I like salted chocolate.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, salted chocolate's good.
that should be the
good.
name of like Satsu's new stream where he has like partners on who are women. Just call it "I Like Dark Chocolate."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was liking salty chocolate.
ooh, salty chocolate balls. Hey, South Park, yo, come on! I'm not that old, am I?
You are that old.
boy.
Chocolate salty balls, come on,
Chocolate salty balls.
chef, yo, chef.
Okay, this is how old you are. You haven't had cable since 2003, and you know that.
Yeah, well, I chose.
That's how
not to do
old
that.
you are.
No, because the internet replaced the need for cable.
Man, I can't remember the last time I had cable. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, it's probably been a decade for me.
It's
Yeah.
been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm not paying for that shit. As a matter of
Still,
fact,
The point
the last-
stands, he's old.
yeah, the last time I had cable was when I was actually with my mom. When I moved out, I just got internet. I never got cable when I was living
The
on my
last
own.
time I had cable, I was reading a comic book of Deadpool.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Comic book joke.
Speaking of that, did you? Oh, damn! Wait, we're not supposed to be talking.
Yeah,
about
we can't
movies,
talk
are
about
we?
Logan. We can't talk about movies.
No movies.
Well,
We're going one stream without movies, and we've already broke
Yeah.
that.
No. I've taken the hits for the team. I've made all the movie mentions so far.
Oh, someone mentioned a couple, like when we were talking about sociology classes, donate to SDA, for taking one for the team. And yeah, you should. You should give me money.
She's got textbooks to pay for. You do that.
She needs dark
Well, if-
chocolate, guys.
if this was her stream, I would have donated to it, but it's monkey. So
Speaking
fuck
of
that
which,
guy.
there is this $sign button at the bottom of the chat that I haven't seen used once this entire time.
Is it?
All this
Andy-
wonderful entertainment we're providing, and not one person is just sort of
Oh,
saying,
no.
that's probably owed a buck or something.
Scribe.
Real
Dude,
quick.
Yes.
I was on Peach's stream yesterday because Peach just came back. If
Peach
you guys
Bailey?
know,
Yeah.
Peach
Yeah.
Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, 10 minutes in,
Yeah.
she had made over $100.
Damn.
Like
I need
real dollars
booze.
or Mexican
10
dollars?
minutes in. Yeah, 10 minutes in, she got two $50 donations.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she got two $50 donations. And then by the time we got to the end of the stream, I think I tallied about $260.
That
Nice.
fucking peach privilege, I tell you.
I was like, holy shit. Gotta kick it with
Um,
Peach.
Andy, this is how my streams run. We start with some minor topic that we throw together at the last minute, and then just go wherever the fuck.
Whoa. What do you mean we, white man?
Okay.
I came up with a plan. And you just said, oh, this is all going to go to shit in 5 minutes. I was like, hey, I can try to bring it back. Nah, that never happens. Like,
But
okay,
I was right. It went to shit
yeah,
in about.
self-fulfilling prophecy, my friend.
Andy's stream from yesterday was fucking awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, fucking watch it. If it's still up, it starts out slow, but as he drinks more and more, it is just fucking funny.
I didn't know he streamed.
Oh, there
Oh.
you go, Andy.
Oh, thank you so
Worski.
much.
There you
Oh,
go.
dude.
Good job.
He had the guys from Poison the Well on. Jeff Holiday was on there.
Oh, yeah. I heard it was an all-star extravaganza.
Undoomed was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, some black guy showed up. Not just a random black guy, the guy who goes by the name Some Black Guy.
Yes.
Dude,
I love his name. That is
I
the
mean, as
greatest
long
thing
as
ever.
it's dark chocolate, right?
Dark
See,
chocolate.
we were talking about that too, about my position on YouTube, because I was like, whenever I tell people, they're like, oh, you're a black YouTuber. I'm like, yeah. They're like, that guy T? I'm like, no. They're like,
There's only like one of you.
wait. They're like, Tyler? No. Some black guy? God damn it.
You're such a rare species. Apparently, there's only
They're
like
like-
4 of you to talk about.
Eventually they'll get to me. I'm a black guy on YouTube.
Actually,
they go through all the popular ones first, and they're like, "Oh, you're the one nobody gives a shit about." Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
Oh
me.
yeah, try
Yeah.
being some white guy on YouTube.
No, just look up. You want to look up Moorish science on YouTube. There's plenty of videos by people who are not white. If you're really looking for that,
Oh boy.
have you ever heard of Moorish science?
No.
Oh man, you should look that up. You might find something worthy of doing a video on. It's almost up there with sovereign citizen stuff, which Mr. Medicare just covered a bit on, and that's some interesting, entertaining stuff right there.
See, I feel like I don't know if I should take any advice.
I'm a horrible influence. Yeah, you shouldn't listen to me at all. Don't bother.
I'm just
talking to me.
like,
Well, he
I
told us
could.
earlier his advice, might suck.
Yeah, no. I put a Surgeon General's warning on anything I say. I don't know fuck all of what I'm talking about most of the time.
Thank you so much.
Oh, there you go.
That's so funny.
Oh, Monkey, what did we say? Fuck. Okay.
Whoa.
I got this.
That's
Monkey,
it.
what we're gonna say about fuck?
Do
Like-
you kiss your dark chocolate with that mouth?
Thursday, is that what we said? My
Yeah.
channel? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, and
Yeah,
on the 25th, so far planned, there will be that time of the month with Monkey, Satsu, and myself on
Oh,
Bo
yes.
show.
Satsu's channel, I think, this time.
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
That was the
Okay.
idea, yes. And then
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a good
I'm
thing
down
we
with that.
told him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, did you know that you're hosting us in 3 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the
yeah.
type to be late to my own funeral, so
Hmm.
Is
You're
that
on
like
black
when you
people
invite
time.
yourself over to somebody else's house and you're just like, we're here now?
No, we actually did tell him this previously.
yeah, they definitely told me. But,
Isn't that the only way you can be at your funeral is late?
well, I mean,
Ha, 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 ha.
damn it, your old man joke.
yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
know, I'm so
It took her a while, but she caught it. She was like, "Hold on."
Yeah, I know.
Um,
It's a slow boil.
yes, that was actually a good one.
That's some shit you think about like 3 hours later. Like, oh, wait a minute.
It took me a second to catch it too.
That's why I like going to like random like comedy shows or whatever to see like, not very famous comedians, because there's a lot of that going on to where like they tell a joke and it didn't quite hit. But
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
leaving, and later on you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I have friends who are amateur stand-up comics, and I'll often end up being the testing ground for a lot of their jokes.
Oh boy.
And then you see them performing on stage, and you sort of see the evolution of it. And
Later,
sometimes
Andy.
they hit, and sometimes they don't. But it's
See ya,
it's-
Andy.
It's like anything else; it's practice, and you have to like sort of revise. It's like writing. It's like writing books or writing stories and things.
Yeah, it's tough. I got a friend who's a stand-up comedian. He's pretty good too. But like it's just like getting seen and getting popular, finding venues that'll let you,
Right.
it's tough. And he was telling me about it or whatever, and it's not very fun.
No,
There
these
was
days
a
there's a
show
lot
that
of
was-
drama. There's a lot of from friends that I know. Just to go back to actually something on topic, or at least on general topic.
We don't have a topic.
There's a lot of from what I know in the minor leagues of the comedy scene. There's a lot of social justice stuff going on. A lot of sort of like accusations of that comic he
Thank you so much.
he sexually assaulted a girl. And it's like all this really weird
Oh yeah.
tone policing, and like that's not funny, or you're not allowed to say those kind of things. And I'm thinking, it's bad enough when we see this in like schools and on the media and everything else. Everybody's being so cagey with what they're going to say. When the comedians start policing themselves as
Yeah.
a community or as a industry or something else, I think that probably scares me more than. Now, maybe not as much, but it's on par with sort of the educational system, because if humor has to start being careful, I don't know if it's really. I wonder what that says about our society in general.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be comedy pushed the boundaries,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what part.
My
Oh, thank you guys.
general-
You guys. Thank you so much.
See, I guilted them into it. You can thank
and
me.
and I love you
Hey,
for it.
Scribe, can you come onto my stream and yell at people till they give me money?
Oh,
No.
I'll come all over your stream. Oh wait, what?
Oh my god!
Oh
You're
my
not dark
God.
chocolate.
Look,
It's true. I'm not. I'm white chocolate. I'm not even real chocolate.
no, Monkey, on a serious note though, like a lot of people don't know that it's there. Like that's the big thing that I found out. Like whenever I'm in my streams, like every hour or so, if we're going in, I just kind of hint at it like, hey guys, just so you know, this button's down there. If you want to support me, that's the best way to do it. If not, just give this video a like, because some people really don't know. Like they don't even know it's there. So it's good to just kind of, you don't have to like shill and be like, yeah, I'll give you money. But it's Some people want to support you, but they don't know that they have the opportunity to do so.
That's why you have a surrogate do it for you, so you can take the heat off. That's,
Yes, invite a scribe into your party, and he will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, I will chill on your behalf to save you the embarrassment. That's
I appreciate that. You're good. You're a good friend.
He's a walking commercial.
It's the $sign at the bottom there.
I'm a walking movie Wikipedia.
When it comes to comedy, I feel like I'm not gonna flash my tits like a slut. All right, fuck you. Anyway,
is there a way to flash your tits like a lady?
Right.
Yes.
There's not.
Yes, there is.
There are sophisticated ways to flash your tits. What are you saying?
Anyway, back to comedy.
Okay.
In my opinion, like the best jokes are the ones that make you go, "Oh no, I'm going to hell."
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if your sensibilities are not challenged, then it's not a very good joke, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's this notion that if I go to a movie and I'm offended or I'm grossed out or something, that somehow that's a negative experience. It's like, no, you elicited an emotional response out of somebody over a story or over an image or something else. You know how precious a thing that is to walk into an art museum, look at a static picture, and be able to have an emotional response to a bunch of paint on a canvas? That's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to elicit from you things that were not there prior to your exposure to it. And when comedy goes to the safe ground of just making you laugh because it's goofy, instead of like actually speaking to some internal truth of life and actually making you think for a second about your own perspective based on what the comedian has just poked fun at, we've lost something as a civilization.
Well, I've never gone into a museum and seen a piece of art and had an emotional experience because I'm straight.
Me neither.
Okay. Pardon me for being a individual. You can go all fuck yourself.
But I know what you're talking about with comedy, especially like watching George Carlin shaped a lot of my thinking.
Yeah.
Just by challenging.
Really like Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr's
I
amazing. Bill
love
Burr's awesome. I love that. Bill Burr's amazing. Yeah.
But he'll never be like Carlin for me because he.
No. But I just like him.
No,
yeah, he's
good. He's not trying to be Carlin either, which I appreciate too. I hate posers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you, Ultra.
Thank you, Ultra.
What was I about to say? I was about to say something
about
that, but I forgot. Damn it.
What's the worst joke you know? Oh my God. Do I tell this?
Yes, absolutely. Do it.
I got one when it's my turn.
Oh, you go first.
You already heard this one. I think you and Satsu have heard this one already.
Well, I haven't, so that's the most.
You might have. I can't remember if I told this in the last game. Okay, for those who aren't aware, and I've told this joke several times now, so I apologize if you've heard it before. But two guys walk into a thrift store. One of them is looking for a pair of shoes. He's looking for a pair of leather boots to make up for the ones that he got all fucked up. And they go to the back of the store, and there's the big line of used shoes and boots and everything.
Thanks, Rock.
And there, right in the middle, amongst all
so much
beat up leather boots, is a pair of wooden clogs. And the guy looking for the shoes picks these up, the things like you see on a Dutch painting or something. He picks them up, holds them up to his friend, and says, "Who the hell would wear these?" And the guy looks at him for a second, looks back up to his friend, and says, "Well, wouldn't you?"
Oh my God.
It is the worst pun joke I have ever heard, and I love it.
Tell me now.
See, I was thinking worst joke as in the gross joke kind.
Oh, I have a joke that's really bad.
Oh God.
But women aren't funny.
Yeah. The joke is
that women aren't funny.
Hey, hush.
Go ahead, tell your joke.
I'm stealing it from a man, so it's fine.
Okay, so it'll be funny.
So you're a woman. Okay.
So why wasn't the mushroom invited to the party even though he was a fun guy? Because there wasn't mushroom.
Oh my God. Oh shit, that's right up there with wooden shoe.
Now I can't tell my joke with the ones you guys are telling.
That was a pun within a pun.
No, you can tell your joke. What's your joke?
No, the one I will tell y'all in DM if you really want to hear. I cannot do it on my stream. It is bad.
I got a horrible one.
But okay, I'll tell you one of the most horrible ones I've ever heard.
I'll Google a really horrible joke and I'll go first.
Oh, God.
What's 4 foot tall and really hates sex? The 8-year-old in my trunk.
Oh boy.
The one I will
boy.
not tell is worse than that.
What? Yeah, don't tell it.
Yes, exactly.
Don't tell it.
You gotta
Is it,
tell us
wait,
what
wait,
it
wait,
is.
it's Monkey. Is it the one that goes, what's better than having sex with a 43-year-old?
No.
43-year-olds? Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. I'll tell you the first part of it.
Having
It's
sex
how
with
do you make
53-year-olds, yeah.
how do you make a 3-year-old cry twice? And if you want to know the answer, you can look it up online.
No, tell me. Like, DM it to
No.
me right now.
Yeah,
You know what? I will
DM
write
it on
the
Twitter.
answer in chat because it goes away and it'll never be seen.
Wait, doesn't it show up
Okay.
on the stream?
Well, they'll see it, but it won't
No.
show up. I mean, let everybody see it, but
Oh,
All
Jesus
right,
Christ.
we don't want a memory of it.
Stop
Yeah.
talking and do it.
I'm doing it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
You can't hear him type.
Now, before I hit enter on this, remember,
God, you were building. This better be the best punchline in the world with the best build up you're giving it.
No, right?
there you go.
What? I didn't see it yet.
I see.
Little
nothing.
chat lag there.
Oh
Weird.
boy.
Oh, you
The
put it on-
fucking
oh, you put it on the
anticipation
stream
is
chat.
killing me.
I know. Where is it?
You put it on the stream chat?
Oh wait, hold up. Did you put it in the Hangout?
It's
Oh,
in the
no,
chat,
what?
the actual
Okay.
chat.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Monkey.
I told you it was the worst joke I've ever heard.
Oh.
Dude.
All right, we're not going to say it out loud for the sake of saving everybody's ears in the future, but it was pretty bad.
Holy
I told you.
shit.
If you want to know the punchline to this joke, tweet Monkey at the Ranking Monkey.
No, you can actually look that up online. That's where I read it. So
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
god.
bad. That's bad.
when I first heard it, though, I laughed so hard it hurt.
Yeah.
Because it is
Oh.
so fucking bad.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's whew. That's some shit you got to take a shower afterward. Right? Like, oh man, I feel so dirty. Why did I laugh at that?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. For the record,
Well-
everybody was egging me on.
There goes my joke.
Oh, now who's hiding
Yeah.
behind stuff? Come on, everyone's. Yeah.
But next to a shoe joke, that's just yeah. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no, it's true. That next to a wooden shoe joke and a mushroom joke, that's beyond the pale. I will give you that.
No, I did not get that from Milo. That's funny though.
Oh man,
Oh God.
dude.
Oh my god.
This stream has hit an extreme level of fuckery.
I blame Worski. He came in and things went bad.
Oh boy.
No,
He
no.
left, so we can blame him.
See, I tried to provide structure. You just made it all go.
Now, who wants to hear about movies?
Yeah, exactly. Who wants to hear about Logan? I can go.
For the
No.
record,
Shut up.
for the record, my children have heard me tell that joke.
Oh my
well,
Well, see, now that I think about it, the joke that I heard or that I read is not that bad.
See? So
as
you can
compared
tell
to
your-
that, yeah. Well, you know,
Yeah, well, it's not nearly as bad in comparison.
Hitler's
It's just
probably
dirty.
tolerable next to that joke.
Yeah, it's just a dirty joke.
I know. Crap.
Jesus
That
Christ.
was awful. That's
I
my
won't
new
even tell that
favorite
joke to friends in real life because they judge me for it.
Nah, dude, if you want to lose as many friends as you can as quickly as possible, just tell that joke and it'll
Oh my
happen.
goodness.
Hey,
I'm
Monkey,
gonna put it on a t-shirt.
Yo,
Look,
I'm
I got-
Yeah,
fly-
go ahead.
I got a question for you, and it is a movie question, so fuck you, chat. What is the worst movie that you can think of? Like one, not even like a guilty pleasure thing, just something you absolutely despise.
Oh.
Doesn't have to be the most, just the one that comes to mind first.
Well, for me, it's
To
either
Kill a
Silence of the
Mockingbird.
Lambs or The Sixth Sense.
Oh, they're big
Wow.
name ones. Okay.
Silence of the Lambs, I just thought was shit. And The Sixth Sense, I told you when I first saw The
Right.
Sixth Sense, for those of you who don't know,
Mhm.
I had already seen an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark that had the exact same plot with the exact same clues. So,
Oh, wow.
like 10 minutes in, I was like,
Right.
I already know what's going on here.
Oh, you
And
know
it
what's
completely ruined it for me.
this my crazy ex-girlfriend Monkey that I've told you about several times.
Yeah.
She was super into Silence of the Lambs.
That explains a lot. Did she make you put lotion on,
No.
Mm.
But well,
What did
Was she white?
put on?
or was
Yeah,
she
she was
dark
white.
chocolate? Oh,
She's dark chocolate.
That's welcome to
are
the new.
black lesbians even a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've never been to Pornhub.
Right.
Yeah. Look for "Do You Like My Dark Chocolate" to appear on monkey mugs very soon.
Oh, just
Yeah.
imagine drinking coffee too and like seeing that in your peripheral.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Do you like my dark
Yeah,
chocolate?
with my monkey avatar, I would be tarred and feathered.
You're like, yes, mug, I do.
Wait, did you say tarred?
He did.
Oh, fuck you.
No. I was just saying that in the way. Okay, I was just saying that in the tone I did just to see what would happen. I don't think is there some kind of racial thing about tarring? I don't know. I know tar baby. I know the old phrase tar baby is that, but I know like tarring itself was. I just made that up basically. Unless I'm
No, it's just a fucked up thing to do to people.
It's true. Yeah, it scars them for life. You know,
I thought
from
you
that.
said about the grammar.
It's just not nice.
No.
Because I thought it was being tarred
Tarred and
Like
feathered.
retarded and feathered.
Tarred
No,
and
just
feathered. Oh god, that's got to be a stream title now. Tarred and feathered. We gotta find somebody who's
like, was it tarred and feathered or tarred and
being tarred and feathered. Yeah,
The
it's
epic
like,
tale about a mentally challenged chicken.
no, there's got to be a YouTuber who's got like a bird avatar,
Right.
and there's got to be somebody who's willing to call themselves a stupid idiot or something, like some dumb American. Tarred and feathered.
Yes. And that's their
that would be
names too.
wonderful.
So Tard, what's going on? Oh no. Oh man, what the fuck is this stream? All right,
don't know.
so
Oh man, yeah, we've
This
been
has
all
been-
over again.
this has been a blast, dude.
I just
Every
kind of gave
time.
up. I just kind of gave up, enjoyed the insanity because I was like, oh, fuck structure. Monkey doesn't like structure. It's fine.
You know what I thought about the other day?
Hmm.
You three are the ones that I've invited into my streams most, and all of your names start with S. And it originally was just Satsu and Scribe, so it was
Hmm.
SS. So it was kind of
Mm.
Hitlerish, but now SDA there, so it's SSS Squad,
Yeah.
S3.
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 I think that's a site on Area 51.
and there's
S4
dark
was-
chocolate.
Oh yeah, do we want to give each other like code names? There's dark chocolate. I don't know what. I guess developed early maybe would be yours. I'm not sure.
Wait,
What
dark chocolate, early development.
I don't know what mine would be. I don't.
And hold on.
White chocolate, I guess.
No,
That's a
we got to
dumb
find
one.
something creepy for Scribe.
Yeah, somebody in the chat come up with like a relevant nickname or code name for me out of this stream. I think that makes the most sense.
It has
Oh,
to
I
be
don't
an
think you want
inside
that.
joke.
Wait, hold up. I got it. Kitty Fiddler.
No, no. Now, of course, that will be it. Thanks a lot. Jesus Christ! It's like a small child with a violin. That's a kitty fiddler. Yeah, I think.
Oh man, I don't even know where to go.
Oh,
Where
dude.
do we take it from here?
I don't know.
We might be done soon because I got to get up in the morning. But you know,
Yeah, we should. We've been at it for about 2 hours, or over 2
Yeah.
hours now,
yeah.
and it was a lot of fun. Scribe,
Good
Satsu,
fun.
some dumb American. Thank you so much for joining me again.
No problem.
Thanks for having me
guys.
on.
Chat, thank you for coming. Love you guys too. Thank you for the donations, and I will see you next time.
Bye bye.